All right, hello, THL. Welcome to Sunday Showdown. I am Saku. I am joined here with the Mr. All-Star caster, Mayanadon. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I am feeling great tonight. Let me tell you, the city here in Philadelphia is electric. Just made it to the World Series, our Phillies. Excited for that. I can already hear some celebrations outside. I'm not quite in the middle of it, but oh boy, I've seen some stuff that's been going on. They grease the poles. It doesn't matter. It's a good time. But that's not what we're here celebrating tonight. We have playoffs of our own in
Yep,
the Legacy Series to start. Although I think we're in playoffs for all three
we are.
of our matches tonight. So we're talking playoffs. It's all about the playoffs for
Dude,
everybody.
I was going to say, did I have to say playoffs? But I guess I had to say playoffs.
Playoffs? Talking
Playoffs?
about the playoffs?
Yep.
Playoffs? Uh, but yeah, so we have that Legacy Series to start. It is going to be the Red Conference matchup here in the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
I believe first week of playoffs is week 9 of the Legacy season. We have the Diamond Five versus School of Fish. Right now it's 6-4, with the Diamond Five leading. 2 matches played, so neck and neck. Might go all the way, all 5 matches needing to be played. Right now, we will have, in just a few minutes, Ron Mexico versus Smear. So Ron Mexico of the Diamond Five versus Smear of School of Fish. Smear not having the best season, 2-6 on the season, but looking to turn that around here right when it counts in the playoffs. Ron Mexico, solid season, 5-3. Both really good players. We have the bands, we have the classes that are remaining. So for Ron Mexico, remaining, I believe you said the mage was banned. So remaining is that Demon Hunter, Hunter, and Warlock. And for Smear, the Warlock was banned. So
Yep.
Hunter, Priest, and Rogue remaining on that side. Pretty interesting matchup. So we only have that. I guess we have only, yeah, the crossover there
The
with
Hunter.
the Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, totally different classes remaining for both players. We'll see what they decide to throw out there first. Are the players ready to go?
They are pretty much ready to go. I'm just going to ask if they are, and we will get rocking and rolling. So it's gonna be a long night, folks. We got three matches. If you didn't notice the THL notification or announcement earlier, so this is just the start of all the goodness that's going to follow for the next 3 hours plus. So, all right.
Absolutely. Yeah, and while we wait for them to jump in, let's give just a little teaser for the other 2 matches that we have that you mentioned. We have in the Pro Series semifinals. We have Zyrella's Disciples versus Coney Island Clown Club. It is going to be Just Concede versus Lambie Series, so stay tuned for that one following this match. And then after that match, the Hero Series. So we've got all 3 of those leading series there represented tonight. Hero Series will be following that. The semifinals,
Yep.
it's going to be Geranium Battle versus Vampire Nighthawk. It's another Pit of Misery versus E.T. Yashiraj. And that one's pretty tight as well, 10-6. We'll see how that one plays out later tonight as well.
Well, that one's 10-10 now, so it's down to that final game. So
there you go.
It's Geranium versus Vampire Nighthawk. So that is going to determine who goes on to the finals in the Hero Series. So
Beautiful stuff.
Let's see if our friends have locked horns.
Lock those horns.
So just for our viewers, Smear is going to be the bottom of your screen, or first to spectate for my esteemed caster here, my emblem. And Ron Mexico is going to be at the top of the screen. So we have Smear with Priest.
Brought you here.
Looks like less Priest, obviously. And Myadon
Me.
with you.
Smear, yeah, look at me. Smear has, like you said, it is a Priest going first, and Ron Mexico with the Warlock. Interesting. So this Priest, either Bless or Naga Priest, I would guess, at this point.
Yeah. There's a couple hints there.
And on the other side, we are running Arson Accusation.
Spawn a Deathwing. That's interesting.
So, not the type of Warlock I was expecting here. This is not looking like it's a standard Imp Warlock. Does still run that Fiendish Circle, so probably running similar kind of early game options, but Gigafin as well. Wow, what do we call this? Maybe I'm not as in tune. Is this a version of Curse Warlock that's just got some more control?
Oh boy.
Is this Ron doing some stuff?
We'll call it Big Warlock. How about that? Since we get a couple 8/8s up in there. So, Control Warlock. I haven't seen.
Yeah, some sort of Control Warlock. I'm just curious if it's got. So far we haven't seen. I'm assuming it's got curses. It's probably like some version of Curse Warlock, but. Yeah, we'll see if it has enough of that removal for any of these. That switcheroo might get played out here. We have the Handmaiden to benefit from both of those spells being played as well. Finds the Priestess. That's always a nice one. And another Handmaiden. So yeah, I think we're trending towards this looking to be Naga Priest.
Have you played much Naga Priest? I tried, but I'm not good enough for it. So I always seem to mess up the sequence.
Oh man. Well, actually, this might just be Blessed Priest. We were able to run those switcheroos, so
okay.
Naga Priest not running really the switcheroos. You have way too many minions. So yeah, I think this is a straight up Blessed Priest. We've pretty much drawn most of our minions here. Smear's looking to kind of get ahead here in a big swing turn soon. So for now, just going to kind of keep accumulating those pieces. Shadowborn played on the other side. Yeah, there's the Fortitude. But we do see on the other side as well, that Smear's going to have to get this down pretty quickly.
Yep.
The Twisting Nether available, the Gigafin also available, and then of course that Arson Accusation with that hero power can just at 4, we can already get rid of a big minion. So Smears might have to double down on some minions here and not go all in right away.
He's gonna
with just one. It's gonna be tricky.
Gonna see something weird coming down his way because they're probably not expecting. Well, with no imps played in the last little bit, it's like, okay, so what's he got?
Yeah, this is actually quite a good read here from Ron, because I think Blessed Priest would have been just into his lineup very, very powerful. But switching to this type of Warlock just allows you to remove those big threats, whereas the other Warlock lists just don't have all of it. And taking one of those Radiant Elementals may be significant here. We do still have the other one in hand. But like I said, Smear's going to have to go pretty big soon. And we have the Arson Accusation. We're getting close to our 8 mana to get even more removal.
Right.
And that's going to be really, really hard for Smear to come back from with this Blessed Priest. So really good read by Ron to see that this was going to be the deck for Smear. And then getting that matchup first, assuming that the Blessed Priest is coming out first, because it's the strongest deck into the lineup, and bringing that counter that Ron's brought. I think, if this doesn't win this matchup, I think it's definitely trending that direction. We'll see what happens here, but
yep,
it definitely looks like Ron has this one just with the cards in his hand, pretty locked down. The Spawn of Deathwing too. Like, look at this. Like, it's just,
I know. It's just
remove a big minion, and there's just not enough big minions for this Blessed Priest. So Ron making a fantastic read, getting the matchup right away. It could have backfired if it was some sort of Demon Hunter that came out first that's just going face and smacking and smacking and smacking. That removal is not going to come quite as handy that you have. And could have lost to that. Could have lost to a Beast Hunter as well. So, I think kudos to Ron here for the big brain play. I think that's what's coming. It's going to come down to here in this first game.
So Smear, I think, is still trying to
go off now, and like we can see, there's just so much removal there. This is going to look nice, absolutely.
Does he going to spread the love? Devour, no good.
Yeah, I would think
Drive.
so, but still looking for those blesses. There's one bless available um, in the hand, and now we found the other one. So interesting choice here. This would be that moment of deciding to spread it around or not, and actually going for a little bit more control. Didn't have the mana to play the bless outright. Will have the priestess though, so gonna have to move fast.
Yep.
Looks like we are going in on this one minion, so
Oh,
this is gonna be a little bit upsetting here for Smear in a second, but that is a big minion.
do they
Can't
have
be
time?
too upset
Do they have
about that.
time?
I think so. Could have probably done a couple more things. Let's see if we got everything off. Both of those extra.
Bless. Trying to get up to.
Oh boy.
Ooh, get a quick read on that one. So
Yeah, well, sees the arson accusation that is at least I think that was the one in the deck, right? Because the deck is second, so did not see the one in the hand, but knows there's one in the deck. Should be aware that's in the deck now. Might be feeling a little scared here. We have a 5-mana Twisting Nether. We have just a plethora of options here for Ron to just steal the deal. Can even play this Radiant to, just say, hey, you don't have any more Radiance. They're gone.
With the lovely hero power of Warlock, that makes total sense.
Great stuff, and I think that, unless the school teacher finds something miraculous, another identity theft, I guess you're trying to win with their cards before
Before they win
they
with
do.
our cards, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I like your cards.
Boon's always a good card. Maybe we just need stealing more things, but yeah, it is going to be that Boon chosen.
Identity theft.
This kind of Boon's always nice. Oh, you got Nether too. Look at that. And a spawn. Smear is probably cracking up at his monitor right now. Like, he read me right. I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah. And Smear says, okay, you've got Twisting Nether in hand. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
And moving on to the next game.
Let me exit stage right here. We're good.
Wow. I mean, that was a great read by Ron, and not much you can do about that. Just finding that counter and playing it immediately, getting that matchup, and now Smear's probably thinking, what am I up against now? Is this all going to be kind of against this Blessed Priest? Can I now play it, and do I feel safe to play that into these other two decks that I felt like are less flexible maybe to switching? And countering the Blessed Priest, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if Ron would have gone all in on the Blessed Priest counter beyond just kind of getting that smart little first win. But we'll see. We'll see if it is kind of a full-on read. I don't know exactly what those decks would look like. Probably some sort of, obviously you have to run silence in all the lists,
Right.
but I'm trying to think what else you can do in Demon Hunter that allows you to kind of, I guess there's a couple of silence cards you could be running. And then in the Hunter, the Hunter's a little bit more complicated to kind of throw those in there.
Is there any other brand of Hunter out there besides the generic?
Besides Beast? I mean, you could play Quest Hunter, and then maybe you're running like, oh man, what is that card called? I don't think this is at all the direction Ron went, but you could technically go this way with the one that makes your spells poisonous, and then you can kill their big minion that way.
Yep.
But I don't know. Looks like this Hunter for Smear is coming out now, so not going to see that Priest once again. Not even going to try to test that, at least for now. And that is going to be. This looks to be just like a standard kind of Beast Hunter here. And on the other side, looks like an aggro Demon Hunter here.
So it's just a early push, I guess.
Yeah, trying to get that win early. That's going to be the key here for Ron. I think as the game goes on, the Demon Hunter will have difficulty closing into this. And of course, when you're running Renthal, Renathal, it just adds that other level of that 10 extra health, making quite a big difference. Hits the Fox Spirit, which will allow a trade into this Slither Spear, which is pretty nice, and is going to probably make, or potentially make Ron hold off on this Fnatic.
Yep. Yep.
Or we're just going to run it. We just want to draw, give him 2 targets to think about. And draw a card here. That's not bad either. Can use the predation to kill the Spirit Poacher and not swing with the weapon this turn. Or yeah, can just go this direction and hold on to that predation for something a little bit better later. We are running Dispose of Evidence as well, so really just full aggro here.
I think Ron calls it get him.
Get him.
Full
yeah, get him, Demon Hunter.
Get him. Yep. So just for our viewers, the second match is going to start at 9:15 Eastern, just because of Just Concede needed an extra 15 minutes. I think they're just getting off work or whatnot. So we will join that as soon as they are ready.
Finding another Fox Spirit. I mean, normally as the hunter, you're not so happy about finding 2 of those in a row, especially when you're, getting the wild spirits out and awakening 1 turn sooner. But it works out really nicely in this matchup, just trying to reduce the damage taken as much as possible. And that's really slowed Ron down here, running out of minions, but does have a lot of potential damage in the hand. There's a Fury, so I mean, just once that hand it's pretty empty, which will happen inevitably, and can kind of just go off with a ton of damage as well. I think holding these 0-cost spells as well for
Ron,
if you're able to find the Lady Sitheno to push some damage as well.
Big badge coming out.
Yeah, good curve here for Smear, though we didn't speak to that too much, but Peasant into Spirit Poacher, into the Wild Spirits, into the Frenzied Fangs. I mean, pretty good curve, and then we have the Pet Collector to follow that up next turn. This is what you want to be doing as the hunter, just keep chipping away, and we've reduced that damage, like I said, quite a lot already. So going to just try to keep that going. Right now, Ron, with an interesting choice, could play this Slither Spear and trade off these bats to try to push some damage that way. A little awkward because you have to use that Fury for
2
clearing off one of these.
Committing? Is he going to commit to that, or just going to?
Yeah, and also of note, this Stag Spirit will awaken next turn, so there will be that weapon that can just trade into the Slither Spear.
Yep.
So Ron, it looks like just saying, I'm going to try to reduce as much damage here as possible without wasting too many resources, and then hope that I can find some good stuff off the top. We're going to keep buffing up this Kurtrus to get some bigger demons every turn. And hopefully, by the time we get to turn 6, maybe we'll have a little bit of a board and we can go pretty, a ton of damage the following turn. But we'll see what's going to happen here with Smear running that Pet Collector coming out. That is quite a board to deal with. There's the Rat King. It's always a nice one to have.
That looks like a lot of damage coming back your way if you don't handle the board too fast.
Yeah, it is lethal on board right now for Smear, and on the other side, there's just no way to clear without taking some damage. So I think that's just going to be game here. The Magistrate just not going to do enough. I don't think there's. I mean, is there one card that can get you there? Because if you play the Magistrate, you draw
5
one card.
Yeah,
and then I'm trying to think what one card in this deck could save you here.
Yeah, because disposing of the evidence doesn't really, that shuffles your whole deck. Don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ron can't find the out either in the deck, so not even going to reveal all of the cards in the hand. No need to give up too much information there. And that is going to be the win to the Hunters. So Hunter, after those nerfs, still standing tall, still strong.
Yep.
And takes the win there, tying it up 1-1. This is neck and neck already. And now we know that Aggro Demon Hunter has to get through either the Blessed Priest. We didn't see any tech for the Blessed Priest as far as we got through the deck.
No. At
So that's
that
going to
point.
just have to be, yeah, it's just going to have to be very aggressive and get there before the Priest can to take a win there. And we haven't seen the Rogue yet either. So, maybe could get a win there. We'll see. But not getting a win to the Hunter, unfortunately, there.
So Smear just needed a quick break for a second. We'll be right back. So I don't know. What do you think Ron's going to be bringing next? Are you going to try Demon Hunter, or is he going to see if he can get 2 wins? Make sure.
Yeah,
Because it seems like it might be a Demon Hunter Priest match up there if it goes to 5.
I think actually the Priest lines up pretty well into this Demon Hunter as far as we know. So it might actually come down to that Rogue. Whatever Rogue Smear brought could be the weak link, and that might be where Ron's going to try to find the win here, because I think the Priest is going to get through. As long as it's able to survive the aggression from the Demon Hunter early, it will win that. And then Hunter as well, it can get those big minions that the Hunter can't deal with unless there's tech. We haven't seen Smear's Hunter yet, or Ron's Hunter yet.
Yeah.
See if it can answer the Priest. But if it is, then if it is a good deck into the Priest, I think we might see the Hunter here next. But if not, maybe just try to get under it with the Demon Hunter, and then if that doesn't work out, just try to win out against the Rogue.
So I see Dankus' dad is already going to be coaching Ron to make sure his orders is better. So good on Dankus. Keep Ron in check.
Absolutely. All right. So while we're waiting, you want to talk a little bit about these other matchups some more? Or?
Yeah. Let's jump on. So we got Diamond School of Fish. We already went through that one. Oh, they're going in.
Oh, they're going in. Never mind. Let's get it rocking.
We don't want to talk about the other matches. It's just this match.
I will prove myself to you.
Raw power is no substitute for true strength.
We get game 5 already.
All right, so it is going to be that Priest versus Demon Hunter, and it's going to be exactly just Ron trying to get under it, and Smear just trying to survive, and then getting some big minions out there. Pretty easy start here for both players.
Yep.
Not too much to do just yet. Power and Fortitude already very cheap though. That's always nice.
What a find! And fully intact.
All right.
If we get to some minions, that Power and Fortitude can definitely come into play. Illuminate gonna help cycle through the deck a little bit more. Gift of the Naru also an option there to combo. Try to find something specific here. The hand's not going to do it. I think we need to be looking. I guess it's Smear deciding if he wants the top of his deck or the bottom of his deck to come out here. Goes for the top, and it is rewarded there. Handmaiden. In fact, well, I guess it would have had a Handmaiden either way, but now can hold off on the second Handmaiden if we want. Although we do have plenty of spells in the hand, could just try to juice out 2 Handmaidens to get cycling. That's going to be the way to victory. But maybe one's enough. So Smear says one's enough. Goes for the Shard of the Naru. Wants to just cycle that way or have some silence here for something.
Yep. Ron, multi-striking and ping or hero power, sir.
Yeah, it looks like that is going to be the case. Just pushing damage every single turn as much as possible, and reducing the hand size critically there with that Magistrate in hand, of course.
Yep.
Ancient power.
Little awkward with the Dispose of Evidence as well, but could use that and send this multi-strike back maybe, or maybe this Predation back and
Clear up some room.
clear up some room. Yeah, exactly, to get a big draw that your opponent won't really benefit from. On the other side, we do have that Shard of the Naru available as a cheap spell if we want to start juicing the Handmaiden a little bit more. Could get it out this turn. Yeah, it is going to be the case. Just going to try to get this Handmaiden out. We're going to have to use a coin to do that, but seems like Smear was committing to that with that Shard play. Otherwise, I think we would have seen the trade and just hold off a little bit longer.
Illuminates, all right. Oop.
Finds a Radiant Elemental. That is something we are definitely desperately looking for here.
Yep.
Illuminate could find you something else. Gift of the Gnar also an option. So again, that question of we want the top or the bottom. We've seen the bottom. There's a Handmaiden. Maybe we want to try to get that in the hand again to just keep cycling once we dump a little bit. Let's see. It is going to be that Illuminate. Oh, and there's the other Radiant as well.
Right.
It is going to be the Handmaiden, though. And do we draw it this turn? No, we're going to hold and use the Gift of the Gnar next turn while we have the Handmaiden in hand. So really being a little, greedy there, but we'll see if it pays off. Around Mexico, just same game plan. Let's just face as much as I can right now. Interesting option.
The Finn? Metamorphin?
Yeah, maybe we'll see this Metamorphin come down. Again, kind of that awkward choice, wanting the Magistrate draw.
Right.
So we'll see when we end up using that. But awkward mana, yeah, so it's going to just be this multi-strike to try to push as much damage, protect the minion as well, and just forego the Metamorphin for now. It's pretty cheap, so we could get something going next turn with this Magistrate.
Yep.
And there is that Gift of the Naru here to start getting this Handmaiden juiced. Find Serpent Wing. That's always a nice one to have.
Mm-hmm.
But now only targeted spells, really. So a little awkward for the Handmaiden at this point. Could go in on the Radiant, but then, you're wasting a decent amount of resources to do that. And can't quite go in all the way this turn and play the Handmaiden. So maybe it's just heal and wait and try to do something next turn with these two cards and combo that.
Seems kind of awkward. What do you think?
Very awkward. All right, so Ron going to try to capitalize on that awkwardness. Has a kind of awkward hand as well, but still no Naga here to discount the Predation. I don't know. I don't even know if you want to play Vanguard. That just plays into a Shadow Word Devour. So maybe we'll see that getting tossed away. Yeah, that is tossed away, exactly.
Very good.
Still up the hand, still has the Predation that could get discounted. There is another Vanguard. Not that exciting, but we do find the Lady Syntheno with the Fury and the Predation. That's going to be a decent amount of damage here in the hand. If we can find just one more spell, that's going to be quite a scary look.
Yep.
On the other side, Smear.
Smear is
in an interesting position here. Oh man, these Blessed Priest games give me a headache. I didn't play much of it. I didn't play much, and I'm like, what? Like a good player probably could find some really good play here, but with this deck, I just never gave it the reps, and I'm trying to find the out. It has to be some way with Radiant, and that is it clearly Spear does not see it this turn, so it's Hero Power Pass, and how much damage? That is not a spell, unfortunately. Falsa Fanatic could find a spell, though. Would have to be a really cheap spell. How much damage do we have with the latest Athena? We've got the 3, 6, right 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 18. So right now, Smear just I believe, alive. If we found another spell, we could have gotten there. Instead, we're, I think, one off actually with the hero power.
Ron's doing the math right now.
I mean, you do this anyway. You put them to 1, but it is unfortunately, I believe, down to 1. Yeah, because we didn't find another 1 cost or less spell. And yeah, that is now the choice here. Going for the Fossil Fanatic to maybe find that spell. If we do find, we've used both Dispose of Evidence, so it can't be that. I don't think there's another 0 cost spell, but that is Spell Barrage.
Gosh.
And even if you make a big minion here, that Spell Barrage is going face. So kind of an interesting situation. Even if you're able to, with this double Shadow Word Devour, clear off a little bit of this board, play, a giant minion, and then Boon of the Ascended. I think that has to be your play, right? You Fortitude this, you play double Shadow Word Devour, and then Boon. I don't think you have another option here.
I wonder.
If you want to stay alive, and then we know that's just not going to be enough.
Right.
Oh. We're going for Handmaiden here. What spell are we looking for? Oh, we did find the Vosh, though. That's going to be big. That's going to allow a little bit more...
Oh, there's the spell. So, silence.
Yeah, I think... Oh, man. We might actually... We're going to be able to hero power our face, and then Ron will actually be off a little bit because there's 2 1-health minions that are going to be targeting... The Spell Barrage is going to be targeting. So huge swing. And the Silence able to clear off the Sitheno getting there with the Lady Vosh, or the Priestess, whatever, is that Valish?
Valish. Yep, Valish.
Oh, man, what a swing, and that is actually going to seal it. Oh, man, those 2 minions.
The heck, I only get 2 health, I got 4 now, I'm good.
That was so razor thin, 1 health away there. The last turn, and then the Fell Barrage coming out, but just finding the perfect set of minions there. I mean, Smear took a huge risk. I guess he knew he was playing around, what gets through a big taunt is Fell Barrage, so made the read, said, you know what, even though I can make a giant taunt here, guaranteed, if I find Priestess Valish off of this Handmaiden, then I can also prevent the Fell Barrage, and that's what Smear ended up going with, and really smart play. I think I would have made a giant taunt and hoped that they didn't have the way through it, and that would have not left with the Handmaiden still available. Yeah, that was a good read, and definitely rewarded by finding that Priestess and able to kind of get the mana back to survive.
Do not doubt my
Completely.
power.
So well played by Smear. Ron, just not enough juice. Time he needed it.
Yeah, I did think the Blessed Priest is probably going to get through. I didn't think it was going to be that narrow of a victory, though. So really well done by Ron there to make it so close. I'd have to go back. I don't know if there was any 1 damage missed anywhere, but that could have been the difference. And now we have the Rogue versus the Demon Hunter here. So the final deck for Smear is this Rogue, and right now it is looking to be Miracle Rogue to me.
Yeah, I was just starting to think when you made the comment about 1 damage being gone, I was just trying to think of that 2 mana card that he dropped instead of doing damage.
Yeah, well, that was to draw it got him the Fell Barrage.
Right, they got him Fell. Okay.
But yeah, so got him the potential over the top. Yeah, but it was it would only been he would have been at 1, so it was the difference between being at 1 or 2. Anyway, on to this game.
Yes.
It is going to be the looks to me like Miracle Rogue here has come back in popularity quite a bit since the nerfs, and we'll see kind of what build. There are a couple different directions you can go, but normally I think like some people go, have sharks and stuff in them, but I think on average you're seeing kind of the same build that happened before the Edwin nerf has kind of remained, and now that's a pretty solid pickup there. Can get 2 nulls. A little awkward into the Bibliomite, but does have the backstab if we want to kind of just get on board here and protect into this matchup. It certainly isn't a bad idea to get on board here early, but maybe Smear is going to say, I can take another 7 damage this turn. I have the graveyard in hand. I want to go even bigger. I'm not too worried about the 1/1s. Or could go halfway here, could just play one of these nulls, kill off the Vanguard, say, okay, I'll take the 5 this turn and get a big enough graveyard next turn. But no, gonna go all in on this graveyard here, so it's gonna be a pretty big board to deal with. There isn't really good AoE here from the Rogue.
Strike now! Strike now!
But it is gonna be a pretty big ghost, so not a bad result.
Huge board.
Let's see here if it is going to be enough to come back here. Does have the backstab. Also found a serrated as well to kind of continue getting things moving. Gone fishing going to come out as well. So this, preparation found as well. I mean, that's going to let you continue to combo.
Ron is
So able to find enough removal here, I would say, to kind of stabilize. Still at, not the type of health totals you're looking for, but let's see. Shadow Step found. Wow. Never mind. Shadow Step was the perfect find there for Smear, and Smear is getting absolutely rewarded for being greedy there with the graveyard. Going to practically clear this board. Summon a giant 11/11 stealth. And the clock is now ticking. Ron, not out of it, though. We do have the Dread Prison Glaive, which is going to push some damage here, as well as these minions. So as long as we can survive a couple of turns, maybe Ron Mexico will find enough damage here. Again, we have that Fel Barrage taunting us.
Yeah.
Sprint available in the hand.
Nothing else you can do, and then
is essential.
Oh, another sprint.
All right, but that's a good amount of damage found in the hand. We have the Blackwater Cutlass and the Wicked Staff to do 6 from hand. So even if this Wild Paw Null is dealt with, we should have the lethal if there's nothing in our way for Smear. But how much damage can we do here?
Let's see.
As Ron, we can't unfortunately get to the 3 threshold that we need to do some damage through the null. So instead, going to try to, hope that this is enough. Oh wait, how much damage? Yeah, again. Oh no, that's enough. Sorry, I forgot the one more Syntheno proc, and being able to remove that 3 health minion means that the Bell Barrage goes face, and Ron spots it and gets the lethal there.
Hey.
There we go. We are going into our favorite game.
Swear word of all THL, yeah.
Oh yes, it is game 5. Get your game 5s in chat or whatever we do. Isn't that a thing? That's
It is. It is.
Get your game 5s in chat. We are going into game 5. It is going to be whatever Hunter Ron has. We still don't know. We're going to find out here in a second versus that Miracle Rogue.
I won't give up.
They started up fast.
Looks like a Beast Hunter to me. And I would say that the Beast Hunter should be favored here. Of course, the Miracle Rogue can get something giant on the board that gets through early, but it's going to have to come down to that. All right.
Ooh. All right. Still kind of big hand for Ron, so you probably see most of it or all of it go back, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. Finds a decent start there. Finds a 1-drop. Finds the Wild Spirits.
What a delicious party!
Starts off with the Batty Guest.
Yeah, batty guest indeed. And now Ron
Reporting for duty.
has an option here. Decide to use the coin or not. With those double threes, it's pretty tempting. It does have Harpoon Gun and the Wild Spirits, so it is going to be that Wild Spirits coming out.
Batty guest.
Ends up finding the Stag Spirit and a Fox Spirit. We're going to use the Batty Guest here to try to preserve as many minions on board.
Graveyard coming
And,
down? Or no.
Smear making a decision here. No, so Graveyard's still being held off. Going to try to discount those Knolls a little bit more.
See, I always forget the graveyard. Doesn't matter if it's on the board or in your hand, it still creates the minion. I always forget that. I think the location has to be on the board. So silly me.
Yeah, silly you. How dare you?
Stream's ending. I quit. That's it.
Alrighty. So just continuing to move things along. Harpoon Gun finding the Tarantula. So this is the Beast Hunter that's kind of teched for the Priest as well. So has the Poisonous Rushes to answer.
Devouring Swarm and such, yep.
Yeah. Yep, and Devouring Swarm as well to kind of combo. So yeah, this is that build that's meant to counter those big minions and might have to tank one hit from one of those stealth minions, but could even in this matchup be able to clear one of those. So I'd say we're leaning definitely more and more towards Ron taking the series here, just really sniffing out the matchups and finding the right tech there to make it happen. Even that aggro Demon Hunter was super close, but a couple of times, but just being able to go face there, I think that was the potential weak link there for Ron. And now, we're looking pretty decent. Of course, we are getting this pretty big, this pretty big summon here this turn, which is one turn too early for that Tarantula. Actually, no, we discounted the Tarantula, so the Tarantula is going to be here in time for the following turn for the unstealth of the. Unfortunately, I don't see a way to kill the Tarantula to get one of the spiders to use the Devouring Swarm on. Oh, because that's the only way you can kill the stealth this turn. So we're gonna have to tank it for a turn, but there are worse things here for Ron.
At 39 health, you're not really worried about too much, unless you're getting repeatedly punched in the face by the 9/9, but that's not happening exactly right now. Ron's just pausing to see if the Tarantula play is worth smashing on the 4/4.
Yeah, I think that is the consideration here, but that's going to be the decision. And oh no, just holding. Yeah. So gonna hold off. Yeah.
Yep.
Makes absolute sense. You want to
make that
hit
9/9
the spiders first, if possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say make the 9/9 come out to play and get rid of it.
Exactly. So right now, Smear with that decision of holding the 9/9 back to try to maintain that stealth minion a little bit longer until you can maybe get rid of those spiders. But right now, this board's not really going to deal with those spiders very well. So it's going to take some time and a lot of resources. So yeah, Smear just having to double trade into these spiders just to try to protect this 9/5, but that means it didn't go face, and that's exactly what Ron wants. And we're starting to get to a point where Ron's gonna be able to clear that off as well. So
wow,
Smear just having to go all in.
That Noel's gonna punch the 1/1 and then 4. Yeah. Poor Noel. Poor poison Noel.
Poor poison Noel.
Connie is interesting, but I don't think it's a. Yo, that 5-5 is 9-5 is gone.
Yep. And that's going to be a big relief here.
Yep. And a backstab? Your location, you're going to punch that? Of course not. You're going to leave that alone.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much in Smear's position. We're just saying we need a sprint off the top, and then maybe we can come back into this. Otherwise, we're just going to chip away until we can't chip away anymore. But on the other side, we have the option here, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Is that
Random now?
Okani to try to counter a top deck sprint?
Oh, Altimore. Okay.
I'm 7 moves.
Connie.
There's no way to clear the Okani here. So
Oh, went
actually
minion.
countered minion there. Interesting. I thought we would have seen countered spell as really the comeback that I can think of, unless there's something else in the deck. Maybe Edwin, I guess, is what Ron's thinking about. Because I think those are the two comeback mechanics: is Edwin off the top or sprint off the top. So I guess it's a. There's two sprints versus one Edwin. Maybe is the argument for going for spell, but in the end, does benefit by going minion there and using that spell.
Oh, okay.
A
Big
bit,
bear. Big bear to slow things down.
Yeah, now Smear knows that he has the go-ahead, but Necrolord Draka is exactly what you don't want to see here. That's not going to do anything, and Smear on the back foot. This is not looking good for Smear.
No.
I don't know what kind of top deck is going to do it. This is going to be a lot of pressure on the other side, presenting a potential lethal with that hero power and these minions on the board. Could also trade off this Tarantula first, see what else you get. I don't know if there's a card that really does too much to your decisions, but it looks like, yeah, just hero power.
Yeah.
You have lethal on board with your minions. They can't play a minion. There's the Shrouded Concealment. Could find the other Null, which I guess you can play to proc the Okani and hope that the other minion you get is good enough, but that is not going to be it. Here sees the writing on the wall, takes the loss, and Ron with really, really clever preparation, I think, winning the day here and taking that win to help the Diamond 5, create a bigger gap there. So that's going to be, it was 6-4 going into this match. And now with that win, it's going to be 10-6.
Yep.
So a little bit harder there for Schoolfish to come back. They could still win it with 2 wins, but I believe with that win, if they win one more, I think that's it, right? The Diamond 5 take it. So
yep.
Really, really big win there for Ron, able to kind of get his team in the right position here to win.
All right, so Ron's able to sit down with us and go through each play step by step, since we're going to be waiting roughly around half an hour for our other match to start.
Oh boy.
So let me see if I can get him in here. I remember his name. What was his name?
What is his name? Shoot.
What is that guy's name again?
That guy's name. Who is that guy?
Oh, it's the winner. Hey, Ron, what's going on, man?
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh man. How's it going for you? Let's I think it's about you tonight. How you feeling? That was a big win there for your team. Putting them in the right position to take the week and move on to the semifinals. How did you feel going in? It definitely looked like you prepped right. You had that Blessed Priest read. You said, I'm bringing the most counter possible deck I can think of with that Warlock. I'm going to bring the Tarantulas with the Hunter, and then hope that I can get those through the Priest. And you got one of them through, and then the Hunter's still able to do normal Hunter things in that Rogue matchup. But yeah, tell me a little bit about your prep going in. I felt like that was really what gave you the edge here.
Yeah, so I've been just nonstop jamming Fell Relic Demon Hunter because I really like it. And I think Smear knew that, and his classes kind of told me that he was targeting that. So I'm like, all right, I see your target, and I raise you a target. And I went after the decks that targeted the deck that I thought he was targeting. And well, Demon Hunter almost fell apart
Yeah,
there. That
it
aggro
was very
DH got
close.
agonizingly close. One
Yeah.
off lethal to the
Hmm.
priest. Some better draws that I think I still get there, but it was kind of clunky, and he had literally all of the things in
Yep.
that priest win. But then I was still fine. I was feeling mostly fine because I'm like, okay, we can still just beat the rogue. Although he went crazy in game 4, and I was pretty nervous. But turns out it just barely got there, so it worked out. And then the hunter didn't really struggle too much. I wound up finding the tarantula. He went in real early on, the one big thing, and I figured, okay, from here on out, it's probably smooth sailing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you really just summarized that matchup, and it was beautiful to see it play out. Um, you know, kudos to Smear, played those matchups really well. Some tough, situations to deal with. But I was laughing, and I'm sure Smear was also chuckling a little bit to himself in that first game
Yep.
when he did the identity theft and saw
Oh
just
yeah,
what you had.
I love
It was
identity
like,
theft for that matchup because it spares us the agony. He sees what I have,
yeah,
and he knows he can never ever win, and then we move
yeah.
on.
That's exactly what happened. So the first time, he didn't see what was in your hand. He didn't see, anything too devastating, but did see that you had, what is that called?
Little
Oh
dragon
god,
whelp thing. Yep.
no, not the dragon whelp. In the deck, he saw that you had
That was
the destroy a minion,
the
discard a
abysmal thing. Yeah.
whatever it's called.
The
You know what I'm
zero
talking
cost
about?
one. Yeah. Right.
The 2 cost spell.
Two
Oh
costs.
yeah,
Right.
arson accusation.
There
Yes,
you go.
arson accusation. Thank you. So he saw that you had one in the deck, so it didn't reveal it. You had it in the hand yet. And then the second identity theft, it was like after you had already used the minion that Sokka was talking about to remove something, and then he saw that you had the twisting nether in the hand and was like, okay, that's it. There's no way.
Yeah.
And there was no way.
I kind of had like too many options to
You had
clear
very
whatever he
many.
put on there. I was like,
Yeah.
should I just use the nether now? No, I don't even need
Nah.
to. Just finish him. Yeah.
Is there a wrong
Credit
choice and all
to
that? Yeah.
Dankus Dad for crafting the most evil of warlock lists that
Yeah,
says you are not allowed to play the game that you want to play to a couple particular decks that I wanted to target. So
Hmm.
it worked out nicely.
it really did.
He said he's going to coach you on something about order or something. That was in chat after that game was gone through its motions. So.
I probably made a couple order mistakes, specifically the
Hey.
warlock or
Yeah,
just
the warlock
in
itself.
general.
Yeah. So.
Ah,
But that's
I don't
fine.
know. That game
Get
felt
one.
super unlosable. I don't
Yeah,
think I
I
need
don't
to
think
play
there were
that
too
No.
many
optimally.
choices. The only choice you made in that game was playing that deck first and getting the matchup, the best matchup that you wanted there,
Yes.
Yeah.
making the decision to play that deck in general.
Yep.
Whew.
Worked out.
But yeah,
We got
any thoughts there for your team? You got Dankus Dad and Rice Cryption, on deck here to try to close it out for your team.
We're angling for the title this season, so I got faith in my teammates. Did what we had to do so far, and just one more match victory gets us home and advances us to the next round. So let's go out there and get it done.
amazing job.
Awesome.
Yep.
Beautiful stuff. Good luck to both teams moving forward. But yeah, really well done there. If you want to talk about anything, I guess we got time. So if you have any other thoughts, it doesn't have to be Hearthstone related, but
You have to talk real
you know,
slow,
how's
Ron,
life?
because we got yeah, exactly. We got about
You know,
25
what's going on
minutes.
with life? We already talked a little bit about the Phillies. You know, moving on to the World Series, that was nice. Before
Solid.
Did Atlanta win
Did
today? The
did
Falcons?
we play our match too fast? We gotta fill up some airtime. I can do that.
yeah, we
No,
got
the
well.
Falcons did not win
Also the
soccer. We are two losing football fans.
Hey, that's right. San Fran.
well, one of your teams just bought Christian McCaffrey for all of the picks.
That's
all
right.
of them.
We don't
Yeah,
need
that was
picks.
a little crazy.
You don't need him. You got the quarterback of the future, Jimmy G. Jimmy GQ, slinging it.
Yep. But he got swung around today. So he was doing the
He did.
do-si-do back there.
Oh, he's solid. He's solid. But yeah, you got a definitely scary 1-2 punch there with Debo and McCaffrey now.
Yep.
So
A lot of weapons. Unfortunately, you still have Jimmy in the backfield taking snaps under center, so it only does so much.
it's it only does so much, but it's better than, I guess, having what do you got? You got Mariota back there. Is that
Hey.
any better? Is
Listen,
that much better?
that is
Jimmy G. And if we're comparing threats, I mean, you got some good threats too. Kyle Pitts is good, and I like Drake London, but
no. We're gearing up for a high draft pick. That's obviously
no,
the decision
you guys,
that we made at the beginning of the season when we
absolutely.
put
Yeah,
Mariota as our quarterback.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
not to try to lose our Hearthstone crowd too
Yeah.
much talking all this sports ball.
So we can go over
we got
the
some.
Blue
Yeah, you
Conference.
want to talk about the next the Blue Conference. I was gonna say we can do a little teaser for the next match, or we can
Sure.
talk a little bit more about Legacy. Up to you guys.
We can continue on with the legacy, I guess, with the quick
Legacy
update.
playoff picture.
Yeah, talk to me about it, Saku.
So we got Blue Conferences. Got the two teams of was it ET Cthulhu versus the IDK. So they're in Deathlight Knights right now. They got one more match with Nomad Farmer and Trito, which are probably not going to be played because IDK is beating them by 7. So it's 14-7 for IDK. So I'm assuming the last match is going to be a no contest. Then we got 4 out of 5 Justins with one game left between Gordon and TKRS. That's left to play. It's currently 14-10. Gordon on How I Met Your Murgle. So that's Blue Conference so far. What else we got? Gold? Anybody in gold playing? Man, the page loading slow. So okay, so S22 closed list conquest participation or participants. Won 14-5 over closed parentheses. So that one was over before it began, unfortunately. And the final conference for silver.
Oh, apparently I am being summoned by my teammates
Okay.
to go
Alrighty.
talk to them and call. So
All
good
right.
luck with the rest of the cast.
Thanks, Ron.
for having me on, guys.
You got
Yeah,
it. Thanks for
good
joining
job.
me, buddy.
Good luck with the rest of your matches.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll catch y'all later.
See you,
Yeah,
buddy.
see you later.
Take care. So, silver is basically S22 and CCP and IDK and ET. So it looks like, what does that playoff picture look like?
What does that playoff picture look like? You tell me.
It looks like that. Well, so Diamond 5 still waits. Trying to figure who plays who. So How I Met Your Murgle obviously is going forward. Oh, they still got the one match left. Wow, I'm confused, my Anton. So IDK in silver. So IDK and S22 are going on for sure. So they're just, I guess, waiting for How I Met Your Murgle and then the winner of Diamond 5 and School of Fish to see who is going to be in the final
Who else
4.
moves on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Some good matches, some tight races, a couple, less tight races, but that's fine.
That's
That's how
okay.
that's how playoffs go.
Now we can move on to our next match and start discussing that because we get about 15 minutes before those players start up, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That and open this. So it looks like Just Concede just submitted a priest ban for Lambie, and Shark Rogue Lambie banned Just Concede Shark Rogue. What does that picture look like?
Oh yeah, so no Miracle Rogue for Just Concede, and no Naga Priest for Lambie. You said.
Right.
All right. So yeah, that matchup then we have Just Concede with that Phallic Demon Hunter, Abyssal Imp Block, so the Curse Imp Block, and the big Beast Hunter, so the Beast Hunter with the 40 cards. Or wait, is this? Yeah, it
No,
must be.
none of them
No,
are the 40.
no, it's a 30 carder
Yep.
actually. Look at that. So it's actually the 30 card Beast Hunter um, for Just Concede. And then Lambie's side, we have Mind Rogue, we have Spooky Mage, and we have it looks like a 30 card Spooky Mage as well, with a Shattering Blast in there as well. So maybe some tech for Priest, but did end up going up against no Priest there. So what can you do?
No priest it.
No Priest it. And then finally that curse in block as well. So for both
Right.
players.
So, who are they waiting to play? So this is if Lambie wins, then it goes to Game 5 with Egg Waffle and Tom Carter.
That's right. Yeah.
But if Just Concede wins, then that's it. Right? 14 is the
14. Yeah, 14 would do it because even if Lambie gets 2 there, that would be to 9, and then it wouldn't be enough to get the win. So yeah, this could determine this. I believe this is semifinals here for the Pro Series.
Mm-hmm.
So this could determine the semifinals matchup and who moves on to the finals here. If Lambie wins, we are moving on to a match 5 there, like you said. And if Lambie does not manage to take the win here into Just Concede, that means that Zyrella's Disciples move on to the finals.
Yeah, I was just looking at Pink Conference there with Brushy Tuna versus APM, so 8 Perfect Murloc. So there's only one match left on that. 8 Perfect Murloc is up by 1 point, so it's 10 to 11 or 11 to 10, whatever way. It's Lotus Knight versus Corden. So looks like that match is going to start soon because Corden already has his ban in there. So that should be interesting. So Ron fighting to get into the Pro Series finals. And I knew he was talking about that a couple weeks ago. So trying to make good on his
Ron
promise.
could potentially make it into 2 next rounds here. I guess finals in the Pro Series and semis in the Legacy Series.
Yep.
With one more win from a teammate.
Yep. All right. So see if they are close to being ready. Oh,
Yeah, we
they
did
are
say
ready.
Oh, they're
Ready whenever.
ready early.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing! Look at that.
Okay, you guys can start.
That's just fantastic.
Yeah,
Love when
lovely
they're
timing,
ready
buddy.
early. Oh, beautiful. We could have been trying to just wax poetic here for 15 more minutes. You would have heard me talking more about sports. I know everybody loves that.
Exactly. I do. So
Yeah, that's true.
so let's flip over to, I guess, our Pro Series. Knowing the bands. So again, just for our viewers that joined us late, Just Concedes Shark Rogue is banned, and Lambie Series Naga Priest is banned. Do we see them go in? Oops.
You got to click on the right one.
I was just trying to do bands while I was waiting for their stuff to come
Looks
up.
like they're not challenged just yet.
I'm sure that's coming soon. So I see Lambie browsing collection. Just Concede, I believe, was the winner of one of our THL tournaments. I'm trying to remember what it was. Whether it was like the grand tournament where people earn points to be in the tournament. That makes sense. Something like that.
It sounds like it could make sense.
It was like the more
I don't
you're
know
on
the
stream.
answer.
I was trying to remember if it was like if the more you're on stream, the more you got points, and if you
I think
were
that might be right. I think
yeah.
that sounds right. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I should know these things, but what can you do?
and
Uh,
obviously the other part of it was if you won the championship, then you had an automatic
right.
your team automatically got in,
That's right.
etc. So
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think it was like a certain number of people that were maybe on stream the most. You look, I don't know. I don't know how it went, but yeah, I'm sure that was a lot of fun for all those players.
yep.
We do. It looks like um, we're still waiting here
Yeah, I'm
for
just
a
seeing.
moment. But while we're waiting, what are we thinking here for those first decks that we might see? Probably random it, but if you were to throw a deck out here, if you were Lambie or Just Concede, what do you think we'll see from both these players?
Warlock.
Double Warlock, the
Yeah,
Warlock mirror to start things off.
yeah. I'd
Fight
like
it
to
out.
see that, but I don't think that's happening.
I think, is this a 30 for 30?
Yeah.
I think it is. It looks like it to me. So it'd be a complete mirror there, and then the other two decks remaining for both players are totally different. Mind Rogue's an interesting choice there as well for Lambie. I think that one might be pretty
Mm-hmm.
pretty good in this matchup. We'll see. I could see that coming out first for Lambie as well. That or the Warlock. And on the other side, probably that Hunter or Warlock we might see first.
Gotcha. That's a good question. I just got distracted there with Just Concede saying Lambie needed a few more minutes. So
All right.
what was the question? The full question again, sir? I plead the fifth.
What would you I don't remember asking a question. I think you answered my I think you answered my question. No, anyone in chat remember? We'll see in about 15 minutes or whatever. What's our delay?
Our delay is 10, but by
10
the
minutes.
time they get it
10
and try
minutes.
and decipher what we're trying to say, it'd be 15 minutes. Yeah. So.
Oh, great, perfect. So we can get back to you in 15 minutes if there was a question that I asked. I've already forgotten, but I thought I asked you what decks you would play. You said the double warlock, and then I just kind of talked a little bit more about what I think might happen there.
Not too funny.
But yeah,
So
I think the weak points here for both players are those alternate decks. The Demon Hunter, I think, might be that weak point,
and Mage or
and
Rogue.
the Mage. Yeah, I think the Mage in this matchup specifically. I think the Rogue in the right hands and into these types of matchups can really just find the win early. Just do a ton of damage.
Ton of damage. So I'm just kind of
Ton of damage.
seeing what's going on. Recently checked.
I like this variety though. These are not, all the decks you always see. I mean, definitely see a lot of imp block.
Yeah.
Mage, but Demon Hunter, you do see a decent amount of Demon Hunter too, but then in the Hunter, but this Rogue is a little bit different, and then the decks we got banned were also a little fun. A lot of Paladin actually in these.
Just noticed that.
In this matchup here, not in this game, in this match, but in the previous.
In the group. Yeah.
In the group.
So always just in time bringing XL Paladin, and then Ezart also bringing that. Gravity Cat.
Pure Paladin. Yeah, for Gravity Cat and another XL for Tom Carter. Yeah. So good variety throughout. I mean, different types of rogues throughout as well. Some people like the Shark, Miracle, Mine, Thief Rogue. Yeah, I mean, a good spread. And then the Priest as well has got a good spread. We got Boar, Naga, Boon,
Questline.
XL, yeah, Quest Priest. Looks like Justin and Ezart went both in on the same or very similar lineups, both with different results too in their matchups. So
Okay. Just double checking with the players. They are still.
looks like they are in the preparing to battle friend. I think it is just about time people can stop listening to us yammer
Ramble.
on and get
Yep.
ready
Go
for this
Phillies.
matchup.
Yes, go Phillies. Wait a second.
Go Phillies, baby! In the World Series, grease the poles.
No, it's not that kind of poll, folks.
Oh man, there's this donut place. It's actually a vegan donut place that's really good. They've been making some greased pole donuts. They're just like dipped in you know they're like these longer donuts and they're dipped in like vanilla or whatever something, and then just the tip is dipped in something else to look like grease. Like they've been doing different flavors. They had like a matcha at the top, so it was like green on top, like a grease, and then the pole.
Oh,
And then
goodness.
they did one for the Phillies this weekend that had the red on top for the Phillies. That's good. Good stuff. The grease pole donut. Check it out.
Check it out. Just getting some messages, Corden.
They're in. They're in.
They're in? All right, so we're in.
Go, 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 go.
So just for our viewers, we got Lambie series at the bottom of the screen, or first to spectate for myself and my Anadon, and Just Concede at the top. So, match 2, THL. Playoffs.
To get started, it is going to be the Rogue from Lambie, and it is the Warlock for Just Concede. So not quite the mirror, but we will see that Rogue coming out first. Wicked Shipment kept. That makes a lot of sense for Just Concede. On the other side, Lambie looking for some options. Does find the Graveyard, which is always nice. The Snowfall Graveyard. Bio Library in hand here for Just Concede as well.
Adjusting some of the text on the side screen, so
Lambie with a choice here. Looks like we're gonna coin out this hero power to clear off one of these imps. Try to negate any snowball potential too early on. Another solid pickup there, but it's just gonna be a little slow here for Just Concede, who's gonna want to try to accelerate the game plan to get over Lambie's over the top damage that's gonna start accumulating very soon. Rafam, usually something you love seeing, but with this hand, not that exciting. Just Concede with the choice here between Vile Library and Hero Power. Good argument for both. I mean, Library, if you do play it, there's also the question of, are you buffing this at all? I mean, it seems a little awkward. You push a little damage, but it keeps it alive to that Hero Power.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, could just, Hero Power yourself, draw another card, try to find something that can progress your game plan. Right now, though, impending catastrophe. Not going to do it, but could be really good in combo with some other cards. But again, pretty slow start here. Forsaken Lieutenant going to be played out. Still no powerful death rattles yet, but just going to keep it stealth. I don't believe there's an easy way for this Warlock, at least at this point, to get there. Could have been cleared with a Grimoire, but we don't see that in hand. A Grimoire and another minion, of course, so you need both things.
Right. Lambie a little bit stuck.
Yeah, Lambie also kind of just waiting for the right cards. Abyssal Curse in the hand, not too exciting. Sketchy information is obviously something you're looking for here. Is this the turn? We do have the prep as well to get that to 1 and allow you to play the curse if you want, although 1 damage curses are never too concerning. Lambie, I guess, doing some factoring here. What Death Rattle minion could we pick up? So it looks like deciding if we're going to play the Snowfall Graveyard and hold off on the sketchy information this turn until we get a big combo next turn, can maybe play the minion along with the Forsaken Lieutenant and get a lot of these Death Rattles to trigger. Could be a really big turn with the Tricksters also in the hand.
Right. Tricksters. Now for Just Concede. Kind of lumpy.
Yeah, very lumpy indeed. And File Library coming off the top.
Let me just play.
Hey, you said it.
I did.
You said it. I didn't know what it meant, but I went with it. Here we go. This is the turn I was talking about. Gets the sketchy information off. Gonna trigger that naval mine. Get another naval mine out there. Play the Shatter Sampler. Yeah. We are getting so many triggers. That's gonna proc a trigger. That's gonna proc a trigger. That's gonna be a trigger. And that is going to be the game. And Lambie finds the lethal there with the Mind Rogue. The double Snowfall Graveyard Death Rattle triggers just too much there for the Warlock that just could not find any aggression there early on.
Yep.
And that is game one, going to Lambie very, very quickly. Mind Rogue, pretty good, and especially in the right hands and with the right draw.
Yep.
Can certainly not complain there. So now Lambie going to be looking to keep this going, to keep his team in this series. Curse, Imp, Warlock available still for both players. You think we're going to see one of those again? Are we going to see Lambie switch to that now? Or do you think the Mage comes out?
Maybe the Mage. Maybe the Mage might come out to see if it can get through. Gosh. Well, it is the Mage through the Warlock. I was going to say Demon Hunter might come out, but that's not the case. The Lambie series. Up 1-0.
Yeah. Up 1-0, and like you said, it is going to be that Mage versus the Warlock, and this is the 30 card Mage, so it is able to cycle that a little bit faster. You have obviously the apprentices that can beat these Warlocks out. So even though this is generally Imp, Curse Imp Warlock favored, I believe the 30 card list definitely lets you get there a little bit sooner, get over the top of that Warlock sometimes, and we'll see. With this hand, though, Just Concede has a good setup here, has the Vile Library on 2, into the Fiendish Circle on 3. And there's the Wicked Shipment on 1. You can't ask for a better start there. Also, the Mischievous Imp as well on 4. I mean, this is exactly the hand you want for Just Concede. Lambie on the other side. Interesting situation. Does have the Apprentice already, which is great. Has double Dungeoneers, which can also be nice to cycle. So not too bad of a start. But with that, we'll see what Lambie thinks is necessary. Might hold off on the coin here. Does have the coin Reckless next turn available. If we see this Fiendish Circle come out, that's not a bad response. Although one of those is going to be a very big Imp. It's going to hit you in the face.
Right in the noggin.
Yeah, that is a quick little 6 damage. Going to the face. I think we're going to have to see this coin Reckless.
Take care of those 1/1s.
Yeah, not the worst result here. Ooh, I didn't know that was.
Yeah, they sped it up.
Animation. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, I would have bought some of these skins if I knew it had that kind of stuff. Anyway. Not exactly the situation you want to be in here for Lambie, but does have the Fury or the Flurry in hand to negate some of this damage next turn. I think we probably won't see it this turn. But this turn has the choice to clear these off with Frozen Touch. It's a little awkward, but could play these Frozen Touches out to clear these minions off. And
Crazy.
as we can
Just
see in
might
Just
work.
Concede's hand, that would slow things down quite a lot.
Right.
Lambie not going to know for sure what's in there, but going to have to just go in on this play, clear off all these imps, leave up the 6-5. That's not great, but at least you're not staring down so many imps. And wow, what a hand for Just Concede.
Oh,
That's
boy.
not what you want to see here in this situation. So going to life tap, try to look for something else. Impending Catastrophe could draw you something. Maybe we'll see that with the Flame Imp here, just to try to get something going next turn. I mean, you could wait, but then you're playing double Flame Imp, Impending Catastrophe, and this Imp is probably dead next turn anyway,
Right.
so it ends up being the same. But actually,
Gonna
instead, Just
play it.
Concede saying, I'm just going to try to push this damage. I need to get lethal ASAP. I'm setting it up here. If they don't full clear, or at least, I mean, they have to clear off this 9-8, which is quite difficult already, but we do see that there is the flurry available, so we're going to see a trade and a flurry. And then also Wildfire available,
was
so
gonna
we
say.
can actually see that with the Shivering Sorcerer.
Shivering
So
Sorcerer.
might be able to stabilize here. We also have Cold Case in the hand next turn that can armor us up a little bit. And Just Concede, currently not much in the hand, but there is the reward for holding on to that Catastrophe. There is a Fiendish Circle. Going to be able to draw a whole new hand, and that's going to be pretty tough now for Lambie to come back. We'll have to find the perfect draw. We do have the Wildfire in, upgraded now. Our hero power is at 2 damage, so an Apprentice could do quite a lot of work here if we're able to find it. But with that pickup from Just Concede, there's going to be a lot of these curses now available, and that's probably what's going to end up taking Lambie down here if these imps are able to be dealt with. Right now, I'm not seeing it. And there's no way to draw an Apprentice off of the Arcane Intellect here and play it in the same turn. What can you find?
The wails of these cowards chill.
What can you find here? That's not it. Shattering Blast is nice, but not going to quite do it this turn. Looking for Arcane Intellect, has to find the Flurry to just...
Oh, solid out. Nope.
Oh, yeah. Alibi a little too slow. Needed to find that off of the... Yeah, and even Alibi, we were looking at, I believe, 6 minions. So, or no, we were looking at 7 minions, so that would have just been lethal anyway.
Yep.
And that is going to be the Warlock finding a win there into the Spooky Mage. And we're 1-1. We're 1-1 territory. It's going down. We're continuing, and now we won't see any mirrors.
No mirrors for us.
No mirrors for us today, at least this match.
So what's coming out the door this time around?
Well, now maybe Lambie's saying I'll play this Warlock now, but maybe just keeps trying to play out this this Mage and get a win into the Hunter maybe. But instead, it is going to be a switch to that Warlock, and the Hunter comes out for Just Concede. And that's a pretty good start there. Iron Deep Trog, Peasant, Rainy Mountain, Doggy Biscuit, all solid options here for Hunter to start out with. Maybe we don't keep every single one, but pretty good options here. And on the other side, Lambie, not as exciting. Might see a lot of these tossed away.
How about all of them? All of them are gone.
Maybe all of them. All of them would be nice.
See what Lambie gets back. I want to thank all our viewers tuning in tonight. Exciting 3 matches here. I want to thank the players as well for volunteering their time and their...
Thanks, players, for playing.
For giving us something to talk about. A boot in Canadian.
Talk a boot is right. Something to talk about.
Standard library.
Talk a boot.
Yeah, it just kind of ruins all the songs, doesn't it?
Talk a boot. Something about All right. Just Concede. A couple of options here. Could double down.
My Anadon's
On these
album's
one
dropping next after this match. What were you saying?
All right.
Or
Oh no, I'm just a couple of options here for Just Concede. Could coin out this K9 Atron. We don't know what's at the bottom of the deck though. could play out both of these 1-drops and give them 2 targets they have to deal with. But that was a pretty good Librarian to start the game off with. And it's just going to be holding off on the coin, play the Trog, make them make some choices. Lambie's probably just going to tap here. But let's see if Lambie decides to make this trade or this hit anyway. And
Yep. Do you poke the Trog? You poke it, don't you?
Yeah, I think you poke it. I think you gotta.
Job's done.
Peasant coming down or big doggy biscuit. And a peasant falling on the board. Maybe?
What is it?
Question
Yeah,
mark?
that looks to be the case exactly. And that does turn out to be
commentating.
quite a good turn there.
All right. Only thing is Lambie wants to ping. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, just concede, able to continue applying this pressure. Another doggy biscuit available as well with that baddie guess top deck. I think that's what we might see here. Just a matter of how we make these trades or these choices. Alternatively, could just go Spirit Poacher, ignore this 3-4.
Doggy biscuit coming down again.
What a delicious party!
All right. Yep, coming out. That 5-6 is still sticking around and causing havoc.
Yeah, that 5-6. I mean, just the start here for Just Concede, really slowing down this potential aggressiveness from Lambie. We do have obviously the choice to switch into more of a curse game plan, and we do have the Imp King in hand as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be able to turn things around in a little bit, but has to survive to that point. And this Trog really starting to bother and get really frustrating to deal with. But maybe we'll find a way to clear it off next turn if we can find a minion.
Whoa.
Oh,
That was a quick bear.
Quick. Yeah, Mountain Bear coming out. That's going to be pretty nice to pick off the top and discount. And we did see, I believe, as well, the Tavish could be chosen next turn with a swing if we want.
Lambie getting pretty unlucky with no imps and that 5-6 Trog.
Yeah, I mean, it might I think it just has to be that double trade into it here and, try to maybe set up for an Imp King Rafam. Can we afford to tap is really the question I think
Right.
Lambie has to ask. And if not, maybe it's just impending catastrophe. We have 2 in the hand. We draw 2 off of it, but you really don't want to. Yeah, so we're actually going to impending catastrophe for 1 even. We don't want to take the damage, but we still wanted to draw a card. We have the other one in hand. It's not going to be too much use to hold on to both. So yeah,
Right.
I do like that. Prevent the damage to the hand, to the face. Not able to, we didn't want them to summon another Trog. That was really the big decision there of the order of the catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just keep staring down the barrel here. Just another threat after another threat. This Mountain Bear now going to really slow things down on the other side. Could get some healing off of the Zakil, but
not worth throwing it on or basically sacrificing it at this point with that bear on the board.
Yeah, I mean, we don't mind getting it down there because then we have the Imp King Rafam active if they double clear.
True.
And we do also have the grimoires to deal with the the cubs that come out of the bear if we want. So I think we will see this a kill. And that'll give us a nice 5 healing as well. Not too bad.
Shaquille O'Neal. Who hasn't said that? Come on.
I smell an ambush.
Ooh,
Oh,
King
wow.
Crush here. Can you do King Crush? What are we at? 6?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Hydralodon is
Yep.
really good curve, but they're not really playing too many minions, so it might feel a little awkward. King Crush could be that damage later on that you're looking for. Maybe the over the top at the end. They don't really run too many taunts, so that 8 damage charge in a couple turns could be significant. It's a tough choice. None of them are playable this turn, so
Mm-hmm. I think I'd still pick Crush. Or if I felt threatened, and Mountain Bear, but you're not threatened right now. I don't even know what their health total is right now.
yeah, I mean the Mountain Bear is playable next turn, which is maybe the argument for that. But the Crush in just a few turns could find you lethal. And there's the Hydralodon, so saying, I'm going to apply pressure this way. It's a little bit weaker to some of the board clears and removals, but
All right.
I just don't think it's going to be a board game anymore for Lambie. I don't think he's trying to win this board anymore. There's the Wicked Shipment picked up as well. So there's not the easiest way to get the cultist to go off, but you can, and you can play a Grimoire on the cultist if you want, and then like trade Grimoire, and then play Rafam. But it looks like we are going to just go for the draw here instead. We have the double Grimoire, which is what we might see to remove all of these minions and chip away with that damage to the face. Alternatively, we have the Vile Library, but
4 mana. Tough choice.
yeah, I mean, we could also Vile Library and play a touch along with one of the Grimoires and clear off most of the board. But you do leave up that 2/1 that gets summoned by the bat and a 1/1 breeder. Looks like that might be the play, though.
Yep. Blow up your board play.
Yeah, I mean, so we are going to do the double Grimoire, actually, to get the full clear. And then just the Vile Library to push a little bit more damage. Yeah, that makes sense. That also tracks for me. And it sets up this Imp King Rafam as well for next turn. Okani could come down to slow that down, but yeah, I think it has to be Hydralodon to just double trade into this 5/6.
See what you get. Ooh, Tavish is good.
Yeah, I think it's setting up for this Tavish to try to slow things down as well.
Denny, not worth it. We trade.
So now you can do the touch on the 5/5 and play this Abyssal Wave. I think that's what we might see. Or you can touch and play the Dreadlich Tamsin. Both options
I think Tamsin might be better.
Tamsin might be better. The Abyssal Wave does give them a 5, or I think it's a 5 damage, no, 4 damage curse, which accelerates the game plan a little bit.
True.
So there is an argument for that, but this does give you more cards from your deck, which could accelerate the game plan even more. So I definitely understand both aspects. And there's a Dragged Below, which is something that you're definitely looking for, and the Lady Darkvein in combo with that Dragged Below potentially.
Your last death oh, sorry, the last shadow spell. So what was his last shadow spell? Right now is
Catastrophe, I think, or
no, look,
Touch of the Nathrezim.
Yep.
Yeah,
that might work if they decide to go that way next turn. But...
yeah, just to get some healing. It's not terrible. You can play that into a Dragged Below maybe. There is a Freezing Trap, it looked like, and then maybe Motion denied. Yeah, get some potential damage. But Lambie will probably be keen on that and try not to play 3 cards if possible. But we also might not go face, really, so the Explosive Trap might not hit either. It's an interesting decision here. It looks like we did go with the motion denied, so Lambie gonna have to be aware, try not to play 3 cards in one turn.
I think Reform and then or drag
Yeah, I think
below
this
your
is-
minion, do the 4 damage on your own minion.
Well, you got to think about the potential for. We don't know what traps they are for Lambie, so we don't know if there's an ice
True.
trap.
Right. But that could ferret it out in a sense. But
Yeah.
see,
What
see what
is taking so long?
Lambie does.
Yeah, I think I'm sure thinking through all of the potential secrets here and what's the best strategy. So we're going to be testing one of those out here, it looks like, with the Flame Imp to start. See if it's explosive, see if it's freezing. Does find out one of those is freezing. Still no cards played this turn, so no risk of that motion denied at the moment. Might just see this Reform to try to push that damage. And yeah, it is going to be Reform here. Are we going to combo it with Hero Power with Drag Below? Looks like it is going to be Drag Below. To suss out if it's an ice trap or anything, only played 2 cards. There is that Abyssal Curse, is now dealing some damage.
Mm-hmm.
And gonna have to probably play that Abyssal Curse. We do not want to be taking this kind of damage. If they're able to get a couple more out, we're certainly in trouble. And we do see that the Lady Darkbane's available.
Mama Bear is gonna, or Mama Bear, been playing a little bit of BGs if anybody could tell. So Mountain Bear.
Yeah, Mountain Bear, and has to play the Abyssal Curse and hope that this is enough to survive. Right now, how much damage do we have as Lambie? We get through this. We do 6, and you play the Abyssal Wave, and that should just be lethal here. Because these minions will survive, can connect to the face for 17.
No cards
And that's
played
just,
yet.
that's just it.
Lambie making sure.
Lambie taking this game, going up 2-0. Curse Imp Warlock gets through for both players. Now for Lambie, just that mage remaining. Just concede. Has both this hunter that we just saw and the demon hunter left. I think we're probably just going to see that hunter again here to try to take down this mage.
Yep.
And then, if it does manage to do that, we'll have another one of our favorite things. But we'll save
Ice
that for
cream?
if we get there. Ice cream, that's right. We'll get ice cream if they
Big
go
Mac
to.
combo.
That's right. That's right. We'll take you after the game, okay?
That's right. Yeah. THL, skip the dish, or DoorDash, or whatever it is, Uber Eats, whatever is famous in
Input code
THL.
THL to get 10% off your order.
If you can spell the Canadian way of a boot,
A boot.
yeah, you're right. So Hunter comes back.
Hunter is back in action. Mage coming out, of course, for Lambie. And Bill kind of really looking, hoping to find one of those wildfires early. You don't mind the Frostweaver Dungeoneer. You don't mind getting your apprentices, obviously. But let's see what Lambie decides to keep. On the other side, just concede. A couple of 2-drops and Harpoon Gun, not a bad start. You definitely want to find your 1-drops, but you're not too upset. Although, on the play, can't go coin 2 into 2. So we are going to toss one of those away. Hoping for a 1-drop. Finds Hydralodon instead. And another Spirit Poacher. We are
Spirit of the
poaching out
pouch.
here.
There you go.
Not this one eating party snacks.
There we go.
Wildfire. Oh,
The wails of these caverns chill.
these guys can freeze face, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, they can. That was a good pickup. You're not always guaranteed a Frostball, though. In the 30 card build, it's fairly regular. Of course, you have Wildfires, you have Arcane Intellect that can get in the way, but overall, it's mostly Frost spells. Just Concede. Not finding the best options here. Pet Collector is going to be nice in a couple turns. Maybe pick it up here with the Saber available.
Right.
Because you're probably next turn, you probably play the Saber, hopefully trade it into something, and then pull the other half of the Saber. And then your Pet Collector just pulls the Rat King. So I think that might be the direction, especially since our turns are probably going to be, a Shar and Shaver next turn, and then I guess, maybe you could do a 1-drop and 2 2-drops instead of a Pet Collector if you want. But yeah, it looks like Just Concede agrees, goes for the Pet Collector and says, I'm just going to curve out this way. Hopefully there's something I can trade this Saber into. If not, no big deal. I just hold on to my Harpoon Gun charge for a turn, play that Saber naked, and I have the Pet Collector to find the Rat King after that. As long as
A bit of frozen face syndrome. Or
just a little bit. Just a little bit of frozen face syndrome. And actually, Lambie's choosing to use that Sanctum just to place a minion on the board.
Maybe the
There's
skeleton.
that Saber. I mean, that could, if you train to the skeleton, could end up killing off this Saber, which is exactly what Just Concede wants. Although we can't attack with the Harpoon Gun this turn because of that Frosted Elemental. Ooh, interesting here for Lambie. Has the Snow Flurry now, could ping the face to prevent that again. We do know we have the Pet Collector, which has that 50-50 to draw the Saber. But it isn't guaranteed. Could find the Rat King that I was talking about so much. Let's see what Lambie decides to do. Does have Wildfire as well available, which is, of course, something we want to get online when we can.
Multicaster hasn't had too many spells, so there's nothing.
No, none. 0. Yep. So yeah, it looks like it's just going to be the Snow Flurry. The question is, where is it going? There was certainly the thought of, you could just ping the minion down. But yeah, just going to hold off, saying, fine, you can pull that Saber from the bottom of your deck. Doesn't matter to me.
Do it. Do it, I dare you.
I guess you Pet Collector first to see what you get, because you could pull it. And that is the case. So that means the weapon hit might not find a beast anymore, but that's okay. We know we had Peasant and Trog down there. I don't know what else we have left.
Yeah, because Hydrolodon is in hand.
I mean, there's more beasts in the deck.
Yeah,
I just don't know what the last bottom card is.
Oh, right.
And there is Mountain Bear coming out, so not the worst result there for Lambie to deal with. Definitely could have been scarier than that. I mean, you don't love to see it, but it's not a King Crush coming down your face.
right down Main Street there.
Yeah.
As dollar bills would say.
Or right down Broad if you're in Philly tonight, with all the rest of the celebrators or people celebrating. Celebrators? That's a weird way to say that. Yeah, whatever.
Celebratees, celebrators.
Celebratees. All the celebrations down on Broad tonight for the Phillies. And let's see if one of these teams can celebrate here as well.
So, does Ramming Mount come down? From the 5-6? Make it a biggie?
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I mean, you're essentially just doing one no matter what with all these minions, but do you want to go wide and kind of put yourself at risk to some sort of blizzard or something like that? But or never mind, we know what's in the deck. So they know there's no blizzards. It's really like a Dawn Grasp Shattering Blast that you're worried
Yep.
about.
Yep.
What is it?
Couple peasants.
Yeah, Kanonatron does. We knew that there was 2 1-drops there, so able to find some peasants to try to maybe draw some cards here that we are in desperate need of. If we are able to find a apprentice, though, on the other side, that would be pretty powerful in removing those peasants, but we are not able to. So currently we've played 2 different spell schools, so that multicaster would draw 2. We have double flurry available to freeze some of this and reduce the damage if we need to. Could combo that with Shattering Blast if we want to go all in. We can freeze everything in Shattering Blast.
Yeah, I think that was a...
Yeah, so now we freeze everything in Shattering Blast, I guess. And then next turn, we're hoping this multicaster finds us some good stuff to do. Still facing down some threats, but definitely a lot easier to deal with than what you were seeing before. There is the Sire Denathrius. That's going to start getting stronger and stronger now. Not a bad pickup for Just Concede. Hoping to find something big here off of this. We know there's a Trog and a Remy Mount down there, and Okani is the pickup. That's going to be pretty solid to hopefully negate any answers to something in the future. Right now, where does that go? Okay.
Why? It goes downhill.
All right, so now multicaster with the Arcane Intellect, if we're playing that this turn, will draw us 3 cards. So it might be a consideration here for Lambie. We do have the Solid Alibi to negate a lot of this damage for now, and we can clear off one of these if we play like Arcane Intellect, Solid Alibi, Ping, the Rammy Mount, or the Tavish's Ram or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then just hope we find something good enough here.
That looks good.
Ooh, Apprentice is nice. How do we set that up for the Hydralodon to go down and everything next turn? So Solid Alibi, I think, and then we ping the Hydralodon, I think is the way to do it.
Yep.
Here to set it up. Because next turn we want to be able to ping it again and play the Apprentice.
Yeah, I think that's
We could also play the Snow Flurry, ping it, and then it can't attack, which is kind of nice. But it's only 1 damage because we played the Solid Alibi, so we might just see the ping and move on.
Processing.
Yeah, just thinking about it a little bit longer, but does ultimately go with that play here to set up the Reckless. And Okani not able to be played as well does mean, you know, you can't. I guess that's also, you know, some reason to not play the Snow Flurry, right? If you play the Snow Flurry, they can trade the Mountain Cub and then play Okani, which could counter your Reckless Apprentice, and then you're a little sad. So good read there from Lambie. We'll probably see this ping here on the Hydralodon into the Reckless. And then I guess you just play the Snow Flurry after that. And that is going to be the case.
Here it comes. Here comes your favorite animation.
Boom, 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 boom. Everyone's getting served up.
That's right. Denny's at 12 right now.
Yeah.
1 turn away. That's ugly. So.
Yeah, that is going to be a potential game ender here if Lambie's not able to do much else. And we have the Spear Poacher into the Okani that can slow things down quite a lot. So Okani here going to be used, I bet, to counter a minion. The minions are really, really powerful for Lambie. Or the potential minions are very powerful, and that might seal the deal here. All right, Lambie gonna have to think about this. Does end up playing the Dungeoneer to see what it is. Gets that countered. We have the multicaster available. Cold Case actually going to be played instead to gain some armor and hope that that's going to be enough.
Yeah, a little rough.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst as far as Lambie knows, but we're looking at 8. How much health do we have on this side? There's now going to be 14 damage off the Denathrius when you make this trade as well. And we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. So you are technically alive to this Denathrius at 2. But it's not pretty if it doesn't hit all your face for those 2 extra.
I think if
Does
you,
not.
yeah, I was just gonna say if you just concede, I think you're looking hard at that. You're looking hard at Denny.
Yeah, I mean it's a little short potentially, but I think it sets up really nicely. But actually, just concede saying, I'm gonna just set up a way for you not to kill me, and then I have the Denny next turn, ideally, and this is gonna make it difficult for you. Picks the explosive traps. That's even more damage plus negates this board that Lambie is able to acquire.
Yep.
Can even go for an ice trap here to stop a potential spell, maybe. I don't think the other ones are that exciting. I mean, improved emergency maneuvers does mean if they clear off your board in any way, you have some minions, but
Yeah, I don't think you're. Ice trap it is.
yeah, ice trap it is.
Oh, I forgot to put the air. Oh, timely.
Yeah, it's just not going to be enough here. Lambie going to be looking for some answers. Improved ice trap. Going to stop some of the draw there, but we do have the multicaster, so multicaster going to come out. What are we looking for here for Lambie? That's a decent freeze. Are we going to have a big enough board here for the Sire to be prevented? We'll see in a second. Ooh, that is not where you want that to hit.
You wanted that to hit.
You want as much health on the board as possible. I think we might even see this.
The three and the 2.
Nightcloak Phantom, yeah, come down to place another 2/2 on the board. We're looking at 15 damage now, so we've got 4, 7, 8, 14 on the board. If we play the Sanctum, we're just alive. I think we have to do it. I don't know if Lambie's going to know. There's no way for Lambie to know exactly where the Sire is, but I think the only way is with that Sanctum. But Lambie just saying, I need to try to win this as soon as possible. If he has Denathrius, I'm probably done for. And it is going to be the case here. So it looks like we are going to go to our favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. Favorite
Looks like
words
it's just
all
about time.
THL Hearthstone.
That's right, and here's a Denathrius to end this game, and we are going into Game 5. Redeem your Game 5s in chat. It is going to be the Spooky Mage versus the Bell Demon Hunter, the Bellic Demon Hunter. Which one will come out on top? We'll find out shortly. This could be the end of the season here for Coney Island Clown Club, but we'll have to see in this final game of this match. Game 5.
Game 5.
Game 5.
And quickly going into the match.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked here.
Now, time to get cooking.
Here we go.
Time to get cooking. All right, so for Just Concede, you love your Kurtrus. That's always nice. I think we'll see that. Oh, actually, that's tossed away. A little too slow there for Just Concede, and
Yep.
finding a potentially even slower hand here. Shivering Sorceress to discount the Wildfire. Gonna hold on to it though. Doesn't need to reveal what was discounted there.
But why wouldn't you play it? Just because you don't want them to know you have Wildfire?
Well, I guess, there's
Interesting.
They play. I mean, they might play maybe something that they think will survive. I don't know. Either way, you had the mana to do it no matter what. The next turn, it's free. Able to push that damage, and just concede. Already down 226. Does have the Warblades though, and Fell Barrage off the top instantly played. No hesitation. Dungeoneer coming down. Finds a Frost Spell.
I noticed the player's tempo has kind of picked up a little bit.
Yeah, not
T3.
too many choices just yet. So
Yeah.
I think just a little awkward here though. After playing that Fell Barrage, now you're staring down the barrel of these two frosted elementals, which can really slow you down as the Demon Hunter. And yeah, they're gonna have their way with just concede here shortly. Now a choice. Are we going face? Are we trading into this 2/3 to negate some damage over the long run? Or do I kill one of these elementals to maybe find some other way to kill the other one? Nope, gonna go for the 2/3, and that means these are gonna connect face. We might even see an early Finley on this side. No, we're just gonna keep pushing our aggression here. We have the freeze on the face.
Yep.
We can set up even a ping freezes. And now just concede with a choice. Another predation available.
Multi-strike if you can get out of jail, frozen jail.
Yeah, which we might be able to do here. We have the double predation now available if we want to use those on the elementals.
Because a Nago is played, yep.
And another predation off of the Noggling. That's what we chose. So could full clear. We could go predation, coin, Noggling on the last thing, and suddenly take the initiative on the board. We have the Relic of Dimensions to try to get some more cards. We have Venomous Scorpid as well. I don't hate it. And it's just more Fell spells going into the Jace. Just concede, debating that decision here.
Yep.
I don't think we want to be frozen much longer, but
Yeah, I think you gotta get
wait.
those 1/1s are just annoying.
Yeah, I mean it's also a lot of damage. Could just decide to kill off the 2/3 and move on, and that does seem to be the case here for Just Concede. Doesn't want to go too hard into this. Those are just 1/1s. I have a 4/4 on the board now. They can hopefully deal with some of this. It can be frozen by this ping though. And we also do have Cold Case, play the Finley. We're not too excited about with those cards in the hand. Let's get some more tempo. Let's get some more cards on the board. And
Oh, that's a good one.
that is a great one.
Ping.
Cold Case, also solid. And love to see the Frozen Touch when we're trying to be aggressive here. Interesting, we chose to go that direction, and we're holding on to that Fire Blast here. To try to maybe get enough damage off of the, Frozen Touch or this Apprentice Touch or Cold. I mean, we'll see what the plan ends up being here, but Just Concede does have the option to coin Jace or coin Kurtrus here, which would unfreeze for the turn as well. Although we don't have we'd have to coin to use the hero power. Chaos Leech. Relic is obviously good. You want to start juicing your relics.
Yep. Proven Ground seems bad.
Yeah. So it goes for the Chaos Leech, maybe some Life Steal. And Predation there used now on that minion. Actually going to use the Chaos Leech to get the heal this turn as well.
That opens up Frozen Touch.
Yes, it does. And so far we played Wildfire and Frost spells, so that multicaster will draw 2 at the moment, but Lambie says, I'm just going to try to get this game over with as soon as possible. I'm just generating support. I'm going to hit your face. Not let you use your weapon or your hero power for as long as I can.
Yep.
Kurtrus, though, can come out here now and is going to pose a little bit of a threat.
It recharges Frozen Touch.
of everything. What have you sacrificed?
Yeah, these aren't the most oppressive bats, but they will do the job. Gonna
Which
have
is
to do some interesting trading here, see where all these land before. Oh, okay, that's not gonna make too much of a difference. All right, and that's a pretty good result here for where these are going right now. Let's see, what does just concede value more, that Scorpid or that 4/3 here to take the 2 damage?
looks like maybe the Scorpion might be a better option.
Shadows grow long.
Nope.
Yes, you're going that direction. Does clear off the minion. And now I think we'll probably just see Reckless Apprentice, Frozen Touch maybe, and I mean, I think the touch is always getting played. It's just a matter of, are we playing multicaster or apprentice? I guess we could multicaster, but the apprentice isn't bad here. It does clear the board. You don't really want to give them ways to get the Ashfall's Fury
Yep. Charge
to
stuff.
proc, especially we see the Eldraki Warblades in the hand.
What do we got? Slag.
Yeah,
Jace is 1 turn
Zylag,
away.
pretty good. Jace is 1 turn away. If we are thinking about the Jace, so far we played Chaos Strike. Other than that, not any other weapon buff things, so it's not as valuable to get the Eldraki Warblades out. So it looks like we are just going to go. Oh no, we are going to get the Warblades out, heal a little bit, and we do set up with playing that Fell Barrage. Now we played double Predation, double Fell Barrage, and Chaos Strike. So pretty solid Jace that might get us just enough of healing to survive here long enough to get the win. We'll see if that is the direction we go, but for Lambie, multicast are going to be played first.
I've heard of it.
Flurry, not too exciting. There is another Reckless.
You can't stop
But it looks like, oh, interesting. So yeah, just going to go for the freeze here. And Frozen Touch, just going to be used. Just juicing up the Savara. Next turn, we can play the Flurry Savara, and we have 2 Frozen Touches. One of them is infused, the other won't be. So that's 3 potential Frozen Touches. We can only play 2, but that is a lot of damage here. And Jace will clear with the Fell Barrages, but you can't actually heal off of this weapon this turn. So Lambie making a really good read there. Let's see if it's going to be enough. I think it might be.
Amidst the flames, only we
Very, very strong Snow Flurry there. Yeah, let's see. Lambie plays the Flurry.
give them hell.
And then how much damage? Oh, that's not enough damage yet. And they're going to have the Warblades available next turn. So it is going to be the Flurry, though, into the Savara to get 2 more of these Frozen Touches. One of them is infused. The other one is not. So we have 9 damage in touches in the hand right now. So if we get this ping off, that's quite a lot of damage. Next ping, I mean, that's still not quite in range.
Close.
But we'll see what Just Concede does get here. It's going to have to be some way to get some more lifesteal, I think. We have the Fury, so that's always coming out. So maybe it's just Zylag Fury hero power and hope that that's enough, and it very well might be.
Let's see.
It might be. We do have the Reckless on the other side to answer this, but that is a decent amount of healing. Good amount of damage. We're still in this game. This game is going to continue a little bit longer. I think it's going to be that Reckless here first.
Oh.
Then Flurry Shattering isn't bad. We have no way to get these fully infused, so I think we want to do that with Ping and try to set up something. So Reckless Apprentice, Flurry, Shattering Blast, right?
So
Ping.
crazy. Just might work.
I like that.
We don't have to flurry Shattering Blast, but you have to flurry, so it feels like you probably Shattering Blast as well.
Gotta move fast here.
Guess you don't have to Shattering Blast.
She's not healing yet, so.
But yeah, I think that you do, because you're not going to play a different Frozen Touch. You're just floating mana anyway.
This one.
Ooh, Prosecutor's interesting. Does that ever slow it down enough? I don't think it does. I think it's going to have to be this Relic. I don't know. What do you even get? I think this might be just game
This is
here
it?
for Lamb. He has all three of those touches. There's no way to heal in the hand right now. We've played the Warblades already, which I think is generally you only run one of those. What could we get off this Relic here that could save the day? Because we need to clear this board as well as prevent 9 damage, or actually 11 damage with the ping.
So you're only getting 1 discount off of anything that comes
Yeah,
off of that.
yeah,
That's
did not find any relics this game at all. So yeah, it is going to be the dimensions and finds
Oh,
another
gross.
dimension.
That's
Relic of Extinction is not bad. I think you hold it to clear off more stuff here because you need to clear the board as well as survive. So yeah, you can play a few things. It's just not going to be enough, unfortunately. And Just Concede should know that as well, and that is going to be the game here for Lambie and Zyrella's Disciples, not able to close it out here. Coney Island Clown Club still in it. It is now 2-2 matches on this matchup. It is going to come down to Tom Carter versus Eggo Waffle in the final matchup for this series for the finals. I mean, these players are all fighting for keeping it close, and Lambie secures this one. Very, very close matchup here as well. Well played there by Just Concede, but Lambie able to come out on top. And what a win there to keep them in here.
Let's see if I can.
Moving the team to 11-12, but again, the points don't matter at this point. It's just going to come down to that last matchup. Eggo Waffle versus Tom Carter. Whew. I wonder when that one's going down.
Sometime tonight. Has to be. So, see if Lambie's available. Just asking to see if they're available for the interview. We'll see you in a second. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Get them in here. Kick out Ron. Fight Lambie. Here we go. Lambie incoming. All right.
Hello,
Congratulations
hello.
on the win, Lambie.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. What's up?
Awesome. All good. Yeah, congratulations. Huge win for you and your team there. Making us your old buddies at Popeyes proud. Keeping your team here, Coney Island Clown Club, in it. With that win, taking the 3-2 over Just Concede. Really, really tight matchup there. But yeah, now down to your teammate Eggo Waffle versus Tom Carter in that last matchup to see who moves on to the finals. First of all, any how you feeling coming out of that match?
Yeah, well, I was a bit jittery going into game 5 because Mage dropping 2 games. Did not expect that. I was quite confident with that deck in general. I actually expected the Warlock to be the one that gave me a bit of trouble because like if I just didn't draw the good end of the curve, the early part, Warlock really can't compete against like other decks. But well, it got out quite easily. So Mage was a bit of a surprise for me to bring into like a third game, but we clutched it out at the end. I personally was always sort of soft targeting the demon hunter, so
Sure.
it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Able to kind of let that one ride till that last matchup. Just because he didn't even want to play that Demon Hunter
Hmm.
for as long as possible. But yeah, tell me, I mean, that Mine Road game one was lightning fast. You were able to curve out and just get things moving. Tell me a little bit about that. I think that's more popular at higher legend, but you haven't, we haven't seen that so much these days until recently. So tell me about that choice. Is that more of the Demon Hunter kind of counter, or what were you thinking there?
All right. So the funny thing about Mind Rogue is you guys say that you haven't seen it much at like what other levels of play, right? The funny thing is it's not even seen at high levels of play. So
Oh,
one reason why I actually brought Mind Rogue is it's more like a player choice thing. It's one of those decks that I've had like hundreds of games with. I brought it to quite a few tournaments before.
mhm.
Apparently, I did not know this until like quite recently, but Mind Rogue is actually not as unfavored into aggressive decks as people think. Like it's like 52% versus Imp Warlock. It's okay versus Hunter as long as they don't have Tarantulas, and it kind of actually wins the Rogue Mirror in theory. So my Mind Rogue was actually a really good pick into whatever Just Conceit had. And I played the deck so much, so
Yeah.
I just felt very comfortable with the deck. Also I kind of like to roll the dice a bit in general, so it's one of those decks that if you get really lucky, it's just super OP. Yeah, you just can't beat it. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and it did exactly that. We felt how strong it could be. I feel like it was over by like turn 4 or something there.
Yeah, indeed.
So yeah, definitely pretty strong. Not much Just Conceit could do in that matchup. But yeah, I also did want to ask you a little bit about your mage. I think that it's pretty figured out at this point, like the 30 cards. But you do have that Shattering Blast that's a little bit unique to from what I've seen. Tell me a little bit about that. Is that more like for priests and rogues and trying to just beat those big minions, or obviously didn't totally line up in this matchup, but did work out in that final game to help out a little bit. So yeah, tell me about that kind of 30th card choice.
Yeah, so Shattering Blast was, as you say, initially it was a ladder thing. I was playing on ladder, and then it was pretty good versus priest. That's the main reason why it was there. But then after I started running into other matchups, I realized the Shattering Blast was also quite good in a lot of random matchups because you have like so much cheap freeze, right? Location,
Yeah,
flurry, the elemental, whatever. So it's actually pretty good into some tempo-based matchups. Like you can literally just use it to kill one big minion and just keep going face. It's just quite good. And the other card that I cut for it was Bran.
sure.
Bran was only really good if you were winning already. If you were losing, Bran wasn't really gonna save you much. So I decided to just omit the Bran and play the Shattering Blast, even though my general strategy was still to ban Priest, and it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely did. Saki, you got any thoughts here from the matchup?
No, basically just wanted to congratulate you, and if you had any other final thanks to your teammates or other.
Yeah, so I just want to shout out the clowns. Honestly, Neji is insane captain. Like he's been prepping us every week. Like he gets us like data. He gives us an idea of what we think, he thinks opponents might bring, stuff like that. So he's helped us a lot with the prep. Also, shout out the rest of the team, and last but not least, Ego as well. He's gonna play soon. I mean, maybe he's gonna play after me, and he's got to win, right? If he win, we go to the finals, and I have full
Right.
faith that he will win. I haven't even looked at the lineups yet, but I just have full faith that he will win. Uh, yeah, teammate buff, teammate buff. So
There
Teammate
you
buff.
go.
That's right.
let's just go with that. Yeah.
+5.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, congrats on the win. Now you just got to wait and see what your teammate does and go from there. So thanks again for being on stream, and same as Just Concede as well. So
All right. No worries, man. See you guys next season.
yeah,
Yeah,
take care.
appreciate it. See you later.
See you.
Awesome. So
All right. So
final
one final match, huh?
one final match. So we got Geranium Battle from the Hero series going up against Vampire Nighthawk. So I'm gonna run through that while I tell the players to give me your bands.
Yeah, give us your bans. And it is a 10-10 matchup. This is another Pit of Misery versus ET Yashiraj. These teams have been duking it out, and it comes down to this one. It's like we're a one-game series at this point. It is Geranium versus Vampire Nighthawk. Both players with solid seasons. Matchup here, we've got for Geranium, the Paladin, Priest, Rogue, and Warlock. And for Vampire Nighthawk, we have the Druid, Hunter, Mage, and Priest. We'll see what bans they come out with, but this is the Hero Series, so last hero standing. So a little bit different than what we've been seeing so far in the standard format. Although we've seen some pretty interesting strategies in the Legacy and Pro so far.
Yep.
So maybe we won't see some things that are quite like too far-fetched from what we've seen so far, but it definitely opens the door for more of those kind of high, what's it called? High, like not variance, high percentage matchups
Yes.
where
Yep.
the polarizing matchups. You might see a few more of those here in the Hero Series.
All right. So we got Vampire Nighthawk is banning Paladin, where Geranium is banning Priest.
All right, so we have Priest, Rogue, Warlock for Geranium left. And for Vampire Nighthawk, you said
Priest was banned.
the Priest is banned, so Druid, Hunter, and Mage.
Could be interesting. All right, gonna let them rip. So Geranium is sad that he banned his Paladin. So
Well, can't do much about that now.
nope. You can bring it Geranium if you want, but
It would not be beneficial.
that would be
say.
a game default loss.
That would be a loss. Would be a loss.
This is going to determine who moves on to the finals. Fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of high stakes matchups tonight. As soon as we learn about some of the other ones you saw earlier, if we get any more updated info, I'm sure we'll let you know. But for now, let's try to enjoy this Hero Series matchup we got, and I think the players are almost ready. And I see Ego Waffle online doing battle with a friend, so that might be happening right now for that last series. Maybe they were just waiting for the go-ahead, see that they had to play, and then said, "All right, let's do it."
And they are doing it.
And now they're doing it. Unless they're practicing and I'm, spreading false news, fake news.
Fake news. Falsified news.
Falsified.
So for our viewers, we're going to see Vampire Nighthawk at the bottom of the screen, where my and Adon are going to be clicking on them first, and then Geranium Battle is going to be at the top. Still preparing to battle a friend.
Still preparing. They'll get there. I have faith. Any thoughts here? We might see another sort of interesting rogue. Of course, we've seen a variety already tonight with the Miracle Rogue. We've seen the Mine Rogue. There obviously Thief Rogue is still around. There's Secret Rogue that some people are playing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all options. Priest, we've seen a couple of options as well. We didn't get to see the Naga Priest last series, but that was what was brought. We saw Blessed Priest in that first series. And then, of course, we got Thief and Quest Priest out there. Boar Priest is an option. So a lot of flexibility with these classes. Warlock as well. We've seen some variety. We've seen that Curse Imp. We've seen that Control.
We've seen that
Warlock.
Yeah, exactly.
The anti-Priest Warlock or whatever you want to call it.
The I Hate Priest.
They're in.
Warlock.
They're in.
They're in. They're definitely
They're in. They're definitely in.
So we got Hunter for Vampire Nighthawk versus Priest. For Geranium Battle.
Yes, it is. So Vampire Nighthawk, that Hunter, it looks to be 40 card XL. It's running the Devourers. I would guess that's 40 card. That is the Beasts. Beasts are coming to town. And on the other side, this looks to me like Naga Priest.
Not gonna Priest. There you go. All right. Adjusting
Does
some of
find the one cost spell there, or does find the Slither Spear, choosing to hold on to the Devour as well there at Geranium. Maybe an answer to something like a Peasant on turn 1? Are we going to see like something aggressive like Slither Spear, Coin, Shadow, Word Devour? That seems not terrible. That is going to be the play here for Geranium. It's aggressive, but it certainly does show that you're not letting them just kind of draw their cards and bully you. You're going to try to get on the board here first. That's Geranium with a pretty powerful turn 1.
Mhm.
So no Trog going to be played for Vampire Nighthawk to answer that. And wow, so Bless coming out early. Geranium saying, I'm going face. I'm trying to end this as fast as possible. What are you going to do about it?
You can't stop me.
Yeah, and it is getting harder and harder to stop. I think we might even see this Trog just come down. Hero power. Maybe the ramming mount is available next turn, or they have to trade into this, and you know they don't want to trade into this.
You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me?
So is it Cathedral of Atonement and just keep pushing that face damage?
Yep.
There we go. And on the other side, School Teacher coming out, hoping to find the spell that maybe saves you here.
Poisonous.
Urchin Spines. Do we have any targeted spells in this Beast Hunter, though, that can even do the damage you're hoping for? You're going to have to...
But can you doggy bone it and then it could...
No. So, yeah, ends up going with Shell Shot instead, hoping that
Oh, this is gross.
the 3 damage... Oh, boy. Well...
You can trog it
I think
up
we're
all
going
you
to game
like.
2. Naga Priest seems to have done some things here. Geranium went in very hard, very early, but it is paying off. And Shellshot gonna do something. Let's see where it ends up landing. Hits the 3 there. That's pretty nice. And then the 2 and the 1. Yeah, not a bad result, but it's still not gonna be quite enough to clear this off.
Oh, gave Rush that 1-1, so that's excellent.
That's what you want to see. And you know, not over yet, but it is getting a little bit difficult here for Vampire Nighthawk. We have Blade Master Smurf coming out. Gonna be able to clear these off pretty nicely. Pretty much the whole board. It's gonna just have that Ram mount 2-2 alive.
And no taunts to get in the way.
Yeah, that's just going to be it. That 8 damage is going to be able to sink into Vampire Nighthawk's face, and Harpoon Gun's not going to do it. So yeah, Vampire Nighthawk finds the lethal, takes the damage into the Slither Spear, says, all right, let's move on. Naga Priest takes the win. There goes my Hunter. A little sad, but do I have an answer for this Naga Priest? That has to be what Vampire Nighthawk's thinking right now.
Yep.
And what is it going to be? Is it the Druid? The Druid might have the answer, or is it the Mage? Spooky Mage isn't too bad. You know, with the right tech, of course, Ramp Druid, Aggro Druid maybe gets over the top. We'll have to see which direction.
So just a reminder for our fans and viewers out there, this is Last Hero Standing format, where the other two you may have seen were Conquest.
Malfurion versus Anduin. A just cause is always worth fighting for.
All right, so it is that Druid coming out. Is this going to be aggressive or no? It looks like it is going to be some sort of ramp. It's running. What is that, though?
That is, this is ramp, yep.
This is ramp. Ramp versus Naga.
So the Attorney at Maw, I think, is just an inclusion.
Attorney at Maw, yeah.
I see you've brought guests.
All right. Not playing Druid of the Reef. Maybe waiting to see what Geranium puts down. So maybe determine at that point in time whether it's going to be a rush minion or not.
Yeah, certainly part of the choice here.
Geranium's got
or
garbage. Hot garbage, as Brushy would say at some point.
it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but these are some pieces that you put together. So yeah, with that, Geranium's saying, I'm just going to continue to be aggressive. If this is Ramp Druid, I want to, fight early, get on the board early, and this 4/4 is not something that Druid or the Reef can deal with. The Eternia Maw, though, is nice tech for some minions. It's not quite as good as it would be into Blessed Priest, but it's certainly is good here as well. Gonna just continue to ramp. Does have the Guff as well. I mean, it's pretty good ramp here to get things started. I think we'll probably see a Cathedral come down. Oh no, we're just gonna keep doing the wigs. Why not? Ooh.
Elish.
Yeah. I mean, these are all interesting options. I think the Priestess is probably the most interesting down the line, but the Slither Spear might be more, playable soon. But we'll see. This is going to continue to chip away, and it's just going to be Guff for Vampire Nighthawk here.
Yep.
Give me those empty mana crystals. Oh.
Are you nervous if you're Geranium? With Guff coming down on 5?
You definitely don't love it. Now they're ramping right into those Scale of Onyxias that might get them right back in there. So you're hoping maybe you can put a big enough board down soon that they can't clear it with a scale, or make it as awkward as possible. But Geranium just going to try to keep pushing the damage and see how that nets out. Treasure Guard, a solid pickup to combo with the Serpent Wig. To just keep chaining some of these and push some more damage. It's also not too bad into the scale. It requires 3 of those trading in at the current health total.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Thinking about it a little bit more though. Still has the option of the Cathedral as well, but a little bit awkward mana usage doing that this turn. Alright, so it is going to be that play, and distributes the health a little bit, making 2 5 health total minions makes it a little bit more awkward.
A quick nourish is coming up.
Yeah, quick nourish, especially with that Onyxia, the raid boss top deck. That's going to be a really powerful option down the road. For now, has the choice to Okani that's either going to tank some damage or counter something if they decide not to deal with it.
Silence the 1/5 or 5/6. It's a choice, I guess.
Yeah, you could also do one of those. Geranium just messaged me that he should have gone Pelagos, Devour, Valash, Wig, which also would have been a good play that turn. I didn't even mention that option, but certainly would have made a pretty scary board to deal with. But does benefit of not playing the Pelagos here.
By getting it silenced, yeah.
Yeah, by getting the silence off before playing it. Although it would have been nice to have 2 bigger minions there with the Devour and the Serpent Wing. But that looks like that is the play this turn now. And it's going to go pretty wide here for Geranium and make it difficult for Vampire Nighthawk to deal with all of these. We do have the raid boss Onyxia that's going to make it a little bit easier. But now you're dealing with some bigger things. That's a 7 attack. Now you can play the Priestess. You can then devour something as well. Maybe make a big Pelagos, or I think you want to just deal damage, right? So you can make a big Scribe and then Serpent Wig and make another big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not liking that 11/11 on the board.
No, certainly not. So actually, yeah, gonna Druid of the Reef here, do the 3 damage that way, and then you have the Onyxia trades into one of these. The 8/8 goes into 11/11. Not a bad result though for Vampire Nighthawk. May be able to just stabilize here. A little awkward though. You can't clear off the Pelagos, so you are leaving that threat up to maybe finish this off. But that's not the hand to do it. Oh wait, Serpent Wig, Vosh, Serpent Wig. That goes up to 7. Yeah, that'll do it, right? Yeah.
That'll leave it up.
That'll do it. And that is the game for Geranium. Able to set it up. All the Serpent Wigs. This Pelagos just going full on the Wigs. And actually holding off and not getting the Pelagos silenced was actually
The
key
correct
there.
play.
So, yeah, there you go. You just knew what was going to happen. And that is 2 games down. And just 1 more for this Naga Priest to take it. It's going to have to beat this Mage. But this Mage has a chance. This Mage always has a chance here to reverse sweep. Has to beat this Priest, though, which might be a little tricky. But if it does that, you know, it's looking at a Warlock and a Rogue as options. And Mage can definitely beat those.
Well,
It's gonna come down to it.
Precious son.
Oh.
Wow. So this is a secret mage. Based off of some kind of hint. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I wonder what has attuned you to that. But yeah, this looks like you said, to be the secret mage, and it is that secret mage that's running obviously the ping selection as well. Every mage pretty much these days.
You see, if
Finds the wildfire though. That's definitely going to help to try to win this one.
just double checking VS stats to see what Priest, Naga Priest, and Secret Mage. That's
According to my data,
unfavorable.
it's favorable for Naga Priest, but
Unfavorable for Mage.
It's not too skewed that it's impossible. All right, we do have an update from chat that Tom versus Ego is 2-2 right now.
Nice.
That was a little bit ago, so it could be over. Let me see, is Ego still playing? Hanging out in main menu, so that game should be over.
Yep.
What is the result?
Report to us.
I'll report to you shortly. I'll take a look if it's reported online. In the meantime, though, counterspell coming down. There is a coin on the other side, so a little bit awkward, but just trying to get something going and maybe force out this coin a little bit early. I don't see a result posted just yet, so it might have just ended. I'll keep you in the loop. All right, multi-caster gonna be played here. Does manage to draw 2 pretty early in the game. Had that counter spell for the Arcane and the Wildfire for a fire spell. So nice solid draw there for Vampire Nighthawk. Geranium with some choices here.
Yep. Teacher into.
Teacher gonna be the choice. Focus Will is interesting to gain some more health on something and then buff it, but it'd have to be the first play. So instead, going to choose Clear Conscience, which also pretty good, gives a minion +2/+3. So that's some more buffs. So that's actually, I guess, better than the Silence +3.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't recognize Clear Conscience, but there you go.
I just happened to notice that when the Reckless Apprentice was dropped, the fireball when shoots out is not as fast as it was with Reno. With the
Reno gets it's accelerated. Honestly, that's like pay to win.
Yep.
You know how many times I've played Mage and I take too long and then my apprentice makes me miss like playing a card or something? At least a few times. At least a few.
Beat it up, Lizard.
If I had Reno though, I would have no problem. Geranium here. Looks like we're hovering that Clear Conscience here. Just start playing some of these minions. We have the Thrive. We could look for another Serpent Wing. We do have one in the hand, though. So probably just going to hold off and cycle this one out with the Noggling and get these Handmaidens active as soon as possible. So we'll probably play Noggling, Serpent Wig, Amalgam, Serpent Wig. And just cycle them and get the Handmaidens active very soon.
If not now, right now. Herald of Light.
School teacher
School
available.
teacher. School teacher makes sense.
Take him to school. Take him to school, Geranium.
Now, do you take out the minions, or are you going face? Nope, minions it is.
Looks like a little bit of each. A little bit of box A, a little from column B.
A little half and half. Half and
A little
half.
half and half. A little Arnold Palmer. A little lemonade and iced tea.
There you go.
Yeah, it did end up leaving up the Reckless, but because of the Clear Conscious, can't be pinged down with the Hero Power, would have to be another Reckless to clear it off. So instead, going to see this double trade or the trade ping. And Geranium now an opportunity to push a little bit more as well. Another school teacher.
Mordresh just far away right now. So.
Yeah, what is Mordresh at?
He's ready.
Oh no, he's ready. Yeah.
Next turn you can get Dawngraphs down, but.
Yeah, still 2 turns away, but is it going to be enough here? We shall see. School teacher is going to be the play. Deliverance is interesting. You can do that on the Reckless Apprentice. That is going to be the play. So Serpent Wig, Reckless Apprentice goes down to the Deliverance. Summon one of your own. Let me just have some minions on the board. You're still a turn away from this Mordresh. Maybe the Geranium can get the damage here before that Mordresh comes down. There's no freeze in the hand.
At all.
At all.
Yep.
Magister Dawngrass going to play Counterspell and Wildfire. Does give you the 5 health, but is that really going to be enough here? We're looking at 16. You get to trade into one of these. So yeah, I mean, technically you're alive. But you're assuming that they don't have anything beyond that Serpent Wig, and we know there is. It's just a matter of order here. I think we just play this Thrive in the Shadows. You only need 16 damage, so you've got 13 on the board right now.
Easy.
You can, yeah,
Easy
you have plenty,
clap.
right? Yeah, you just you play the Thrive first. You play a Serpent Wig. You attack with your 1/1s. You play a Devour on one of your minions, and then attack with the other ones. Play the Thrive first. You know it's Counterspell. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters with the Serpent Wig, but yeah, because now you just play Handmaiden, Serpent Wig, and you're
golden.
You're golden, right? That's lethal. Yeah, that's lethal. 10, 14. So yeah, you just play. Oh, and with the Priestess, now you're way over. You're totally fine.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. And Geranium says, forget about it. And that is, wow, a quick 3-0 to finish off the night here for Hero Series. Naga Priest just taking it down. And E.T. Yasharaj, unfortunately, taken out here by another Pit of Misery. APM, Geranium battle with the Priest sweep. And the win for APM, and they move on to what? To the finals? Is that to the finals?
Correct. To the
wow.
finals.
So a win, a clean 3-0 sweep to the finals there, in a very neck and neck race there between these two teams. And APM are moving on thanks to Captain Geranium Battle.
Yep. See if I can get them in an interview. I can spell interview.
Okay, and I do have the results while we wait. It looks like Ega Waffle was able to take the win for Coney Island Clown Club 3-2. That one went to Game 5. Actually, 4 out of 5 of those matches went to Game 5 in that series. The result, 14-15. Clown Club takes it, moves on to the finals. Ariel's Disciples, really, really well-fought season. 2 7-1 players, but unable to secure the win in this semifinals. But we have our guest here, Geranium Battle. Congratulations on your victory, taking your team to the next round in the Hero Series. I mean, both teams duking it out. It was 10-10 before your series. First of all, how do you feel going in? And then tell me a little bit about how it feels now. A clean 3-0 sweep at that Priest to end it. Probably shook those nerves off real quick.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the stats, looking at what potentially was going to happen, I felt pretty confident. Paladin was favored into everything they had, so it was a pretty clear ban from them. And then looking at the other stuff, I mean, like my rogue, like didn't really have any really losing matchups.
You had a
My
rogue?
warlock. Yeah,
And a
there were
warlock?
two decks. There were two decks that I.
There were two other decks. Okay,
Yeah,
go on.
yeah.
Sorry.
Rumor has it.
So like everything looked pretty freaking good into him as long as I banned that priest. So then it was really just a redemption arc of could I get this Naga priest through some of the tougher aggro, some of the early game from him, and yeah, I feel like I redeemed myself after last week where the Naga priest unfortunately fell to early trogs and ramming mounts, whereas this week I learned sort of what I could do against that, and Hunter went bye-bye.
Yeah, Hunter certainly went bye-bye. Had a little bit of a scary start, but you were able to, like you said, kind of navigate that, and were rewarded with some good cards off the top. You had that one play where you sent me that message. A little upset with the play that you went with, but it, in the end, it actually turned out in your favor. You didn't play the Pelagos that turned into the silence.
Yeah.
He played the silence, and then you had a huge Pelagos turn the following turn to really seal the deal on that game.
Yeah, just to I don't know if you talked about it during cast. I had a line that I saw on rope, so I didn't have enough time for it, where I could have made, I think, a 7/7, a 3/5, and a 5/5, which would have been very resistant to the Scale of Onyxia. That he had 7 mana, so like that was the most dangerous thing, but still like my line was good enough, and yeah, as you said, played around silence, so very happy to be on the winning side of that. Yeah, draws were good. Draws were good.
You were aggressive early, and it paid off, and you were able to stabilize in some tougher ones, and really just showed a nice lesson on how to play that priest into different matchups. So well done there. Well played by Vampire Nighthawk. Unfortunately, not your night, and your team well fought, but that is going to be APM moving on to the next round. Any thoughts there? It looks like I believe the other matchup is over too.
It's Clown Town on the other side.
So you're down to Clown Town, and I think with their lineup, that means you're against Arhat next week. How does it feel staring down the barrel of the de facto leader here, and a really powerful team there in Clown Town to try to take that finals?
It feels really good. I mean, Arhat and I played on stream last time when our teams clashed. Our team lost by 1 match. That you could say that match was me versus Arhat. So now going into it, I feel like, well, actually there's been quite a few changes that I'll touch upon in a second. But now going into it, I really feel like I want to get revenge. I feel like there were some misplays that both of us made, and if I capitalize on those, then may see a different result here. As for when I say that there's differences, back then our 1 seed was Molestar, and their 2 seed was Nails, and now their 2 seed is Nails. I'm sorry, their 2 seed is Molestar. So this is going to be a sort of a proving grounds of now can we reject Molestar from our team with his undefeated record.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Wild 9, it looks like, for that job next week. Maybe we'll see that one on stream. But yeah, any other thoughts here, Saku, for Geranium? again, really, really well done there, and congrats to you and your team.
I've got nothing. You pretty much asked all the questions, and just congrats. So, and final word, and
Yeah. I want to say super GGs to Vampire Nighthawk. I know that like this my draws went really in my favor, but this is sort of like another step on the rivalry. I know that he wanted a rematch after last time, and I think he definitely wants one now. So um, I think that oh yeah, sorry. And my other thing is I'm gonna shout out, of course, to all the people watching from home. I've got a loyal fan base that keeps coming to support me, so I'm glad. And thank you to the casters as well, because Sunday Showdown is really fun to be on.
well, it seems to be your theme this season. That's for sure. I think
Yeah, you're crushing it on the show, I think.
Yep. I think you're like out of the 5 times. I have to look at the schedule and how the YouTube videos are, but yeah, I think you're like 4-1 at least. Yeah, Yaster's the only one that I can remember offhand when you're on stream on Sunday.
It's actually close to even. I lost quite
even?
a bit near the beginning, but yeah, it's close to even.
It seems really impressive, so just go with it.
Yes, roll with it.
Just say you're undefeated on stream. Keep it up. Keep coming on stream and keep up that streak. Who's gonna do who's gonna actually check?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Lotus
who's gonna
Knight
look
maybe.
And yeah.
And then some Geranium Battle person that likes to do a lot of research.
Yeah, but you're the one that's benefiting from this.
That's right.
So
yeah,
you don't have to reveal what the real number is.
I win.
Just ride that high.
That's right. Thanks again, Geranium, and congrats on the win, and good luck in the finals there for Hero Sirs.
Yeah, here's to more clutch matches.
Exactly.
Especially on Sunday Showdown.
Game 5.
Hell yeah.
Match 5. Bring it home.
Yeah, that's what happened last Hero Finals, so
yeah, all good. All right, well, enjoy yourself, and we'll chat soon. Okay. I'm sure I'll keep an eyeball out in the THL forums there for a Sunday Showdown request, which will be.
Oh, I'll ping you. I'll ping you for sure.
All right, look forward to it. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Holy moly! So from two Game 5 matches, all the matches were terrific. My Anadon is a absolute god at casting. Thank you so much for.
I'm just talking
joining.
up here.
You're chatting.
I'm saying words. Just chatting.
You're just chatting and looking at the screen and figuring out stuff, and while I'm filling the blanks and doing some work. But want to thank all the viewers that were able to make it through these 3 matches. Again, thank you to the players for being on stream. Adds a little bit of nervousness or what's the best word for it? Yeah, I think nervousness is probably the best.
Some stakes.
Yep. Raises the stakes. Raises the focus level. So
yeah, one day you'll be as loud. It will be as loud in the Twitch chat as the Phillies were in the Ball Stadium today.
Exactly.
All the Phillies fans. One day.
One day. So, I think the only thing that's coming up next week, I believe, is Hearthstone. The Hearth Center, I should say.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone's
coming up.
Yeah. By the way, Hearthstone is like coming up next.
That's coming up next.
Not Marvel Snap. I don't know what the hell that is. And
what's that?
Raid Shadow Legends. That's also not coming. So yeah, it's definitely Hearth Center with Lotus Knight and his crew. Anybody else that wants to be on stream next week, just hit up Dr. Fish or Wild9 or myself, and we'll be happy to get you on there. So we still got Friday night fights, Salty Saturdays, and then Sunday Showdown. So finals are just rolling up all over the place. We got Pro Series finals, we got Hero finals, Legacy semifinals, Wild semifinals, I believe it is. So all kinds of finals. Oh yeah, and EU Pro EU should be in their finals this week, I believe. So
There it is. Playoffs everywhere. Enjoy. It should be fun. Maybe we'll
Yes.
see you here next week
You bet.
for some more playoffs.
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 Right. We'll end with that. So thanks everybody again. My Don, thank you. And we will out of here.
See you, everybody. Bye-bye.